takes all the demons,
just
brings
one
it
guy.
back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just one guy making trips, man.
He's just got like a hand truck.
Yeah, he's got a Traveler that he fucking fashioned. He's just fucking dragging them along.
This guy can stop time, but he's still gotta walk
Manually,
down to hell like 100 times.
Man, fucking, why did this have to be 7,000 steps? Hey guys, Lore Boys here. How y'all doing out there? Thanks so much for listening, coming to our home, sitting in my house with me, and talking stories with me.
I'm very glad that you were jet lagged enough to watch me sleep. It was great. The time difference very much helps.
Yeah. I'm Ethan Palmer. I'll be your host today. I'm joined by the man who just spoke,
Peter O'Donohue,
and the world's quietest man,
James Miller.
Very quiet, remarkably quiet, possibly the quietest.
Quiet as a mouse, they say, and he kind of looks like one.
Squeak.
Squeak. So, how are you guys doing? Peter, how was your week?
Good. I played a lot of stuff. What else did I do? I'm watching Defenders on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, you still are?
Sucks dick.
Yeah, that's what you said last week.
Yeah, it still sucks, but my girlfriend and I want to finish it.
Oh.
She seems to like it a lot more than I do, so we're going to finish. It's only 8 episodes.
Okay.
We're on episode 7, and I have slept through 5.
Last time you were on episode 5 and you had slept through 3, so you've slept through every episode since, basically.
Yes, yeah, consistently I've slept through every single episode since the second one. Is that a doggo?
No, sorry, I was trying to say turn your phones on silent.
Oh yeah, I actually left my phone on ring, but left headphones plugged into it, so it's going to be completely silent. No vibration whatsoever. No quiet vibrations. No good vibrations
That's
either.
a weird thing. That would bother me if I put my phone down and I forgot my headphones in and I couldn't hear my ringer.
One time that actually fucked me, where I was wasted. So my girlfriend and I were trying to win a contest, which was time sensitive. She needed my credit card. So I was fucking wasted. Called her with my headset because I was lying down in bed and was too weak to hold up my phone to my ear. Called her, gave her my credit card number. She was like, okay, thanks, baby. Go back to sleep. I'll call you in the morning. I was like, okay, cool. Hang up, then immediately pass out.
And she's calling you back.
And she tried to call me back 6 times because I forgot to give her the code off the back.
Oh, the CCV.
So we didn't actually manage to.
Just out of curiosity, what is that credit card in CCV?
Oh yeah, I'll post it on Instagram. I'll post it on Instagram. Don't worry about it.
I'm not sure that actually happened, or if you're just solidifying like an alibi to ignoring your girlfriend.
No, that that legit.
That's all this whole podcast is we're solidifying our alibi.
It's just so I can get the fuck away from her. No, that happened, but yeah, that's how I learned about it. Like you can turn vibrate on ring, but I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
But so it's just for me, it's ring or vibrate. Okay. But yeah, otherwise, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, a lot of I played a lot of shit. Defender sucks, but I'm gonna finish it. Then I'm gonna get into BoJack Horseman season 4.
Okay. I haven't watched. I've watched an episode, I think.
I love that show.
I love Will Arnett. I wasn't a fan of the show.
No, it's understandable.
Maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance. I only watched one episode.
It was fine. If it's on in the background, I'm happy with it. I'm never actively searching on it.
Yeah.
Cool. Otherwise, I've been playing. So I got my coffee table and my TV from my mom finally, so I can play my PlayStation for the first time in months.
Okay.
So I started Demon's Souls.
Okay, yeah.
Which I will give a fair dinkum fucking shake this time, because I've played up to the Tower Knight 6 times now, and I've killed him and then never continued.
Apparently, that's where everybody stops. Ironically, because it's too hard. Most people don't kill him. But it's funny that you beat him and then stopped.
Yeah, I use his Archstone to go back to the Nexus, and then I'm just like never sure where to go, and then just never go back, and then delete my character or wipe my PlayStation or whatever. Fuck yeah! So now I'm gonna give it a fair shake.
That's good.
Eventually, because I still have too many games, so I've been having trouble focusing. I'm going to finish a game called Mag Runner Dark Pulse.
Never heard of
which I got for free on GOG. At some point. And then just decided I'm going to install it because I want to play all the games I own eventually.
Yeah.
At first I thought it was going to be like a Portal-esque game, so you use like positive, negative magnet poles to solve puzzles.
Okay.
It's cool.
Sounds fun.
And then it goes, like, it's not Lovecraftian in the Bloodborne sense where it's inspired by cosmic horror. The bad guy is legit Cthulhu.
Oh, yeah.
So this is like, goes from Portal to Cthulhu horror.
Yeah.
Just like that. Like, I'm just like, what a weird shift to have. Otherwise, I'm still playing Prey, which is amazing, but I'm having video game ADD. So even shit I love, I keep like starting things because I have like 12 fucking games to finish now. Still, thankfully, did not make the mistake of buying the XCOM 2 expansion because that would have distracted me even harder.
Yeah. War of the Chosen.
War of the Chosen, exactly. So I'm going to buy it, and then I've been playing some Team Fortress just because there was a rumor going around that the next big update was going to be on September 6th. So I started playing just to get ready for the update and shit. Update never came out, but that didn't stop me from playing it and having a good time.
Yeah, that's fair.
I opened some crates again, which I'm getting really kind of addicted to, which is sad. But I got lucky, at least from a addiction sense, is that the 3 crates I opened yesterday were all doubles, and I was like, okay, gambling is stupid, and I'm not going to do it again. So I was like going and going and going till I got burned, and now I've learned my lesson.
Okay.
I had some good gambling experiences this week. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you had a very interesting week.
Yeah.
That's the end of mine. Team Fortress, Prey, and Mag Runner. That's
There
it.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we talked about last week, I went to the VIP opening party for DreamHack in Montreal.
How was that?
It was amazing.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. Did the cards that I made for you guys, did that work? Did you print any out?
He went to a pre-show event. We're going to DreamHack after this episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So did the cards print out all right?
No, I'm gonna print them on our way.
Oh, okay.
There's a
sweet.
print shop not
Yeah,
far from here.
yeah,
I have a
yeah.
USB in my pocket.
Yeah, awesome. I tested them all on my printer. The borders got cut off, but if you can print full page, in color, obviously, everything should be fine. And
It's a print shop, so I'm sure they can print it any way we want.
Any way you want
You
it,
print on
that's the way you
poster
need
board,
it.
maybe.
Yeah. Keep one for me, just as a souvenir, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I will.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
James, how was the casino?
Oh, it was amazing. So we went with 4 people from my company. I work with.
Hokkaido has an incredible casino here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, so the whole
There's a
Hokkaido
lot of
Japan.
pachinko. Fuck.
the whole thing was funded by Lotto Quebec. So DreamHack didn't even have to front any of the money. Lotto Quebec
Oh, really?
was happy just to do it.
It's weird
So-
that they would sponsor an event in Hokkaido, Japan.
Yeah.
But
Well, DreamHack was in Montreal, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
was it?
yeah.
Oh, that's right. We went through the Japanese wormhole to get
Yeah.
to Montreal
Yeah.
almost simultaneously.
Yeah.
That's
It
what we're
was
doing
a,
after the show.
long flight. I felt very old for a bit. I saw
Yeah.
my life flash before my eyes.
That's it. So I did have really good experience there. I was wined and dined all night. They brought food, free wine. The alcohol was flowing. It was all free. And met a lot of interesting people. I met a Hearthstone admin. I met a bunch of people from this company called Media XP who basically figure out all the logistics of esports. If someone's like,
Cool.
hey, we need 50 CRT, like cathode ray tube or whatever the old TVs with the big backs.
Yeah,
We need 50 of those at our location tomorrow. So they have to find a way to stack all these oddly shaped TVs into a truck and get them there in 24 hours.
That's
Yeah.
a remarkably specific company.
Well,
that
no,
exists.
No, they don't only do
They do
CRT
anything
TVs.
they need. If you say tomorrow,
There's Tetris CRTs
Yeah,
in
that's
trucks.
it,
yeah, it's a big part of it though.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
esports, right? So, but they could theoretically be like, I need a fountain that spews chocolate, and whenever it dries, it's always shaped like a dolphin. And they'd be like, okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
All right.
that's it.
They just figure out whatever you need, basically.
Did
They work
you
in the
shill
service
at all?
industry.
Well, a little, but it was really much more of a business networking thing than a podcast networking. Like, I brought it up to see if anyone was
Excuse me.
interested,
Yeah.
and I made connections. Basically, I got a lot of cards which I'll be email corresponding with, and
Oh, legit.
yeah, so it wasn't like Lord Boys because it was much more of a business interaction.
Yeah.
like, but
You also represent a real company, not our
Exactly.
fake little
exactly, I got
our fake little startup.
yeah, I peppered it in here and there. Someone actually was like, I was looking for the bus, and I was like, which way is DreamHack? I'm looking for the shuttle bus. And they're like, oh, it's that way. And I was wearing a blazer, and I was looking all nice, and like, oh, you're one of the casters, right? I was like, no, but I do have a podcast. And then it's like,
Oh, yeah.
James and his segues.
Happy
Like the most
accident,
perfect way. Well, a certain type of caster, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the pod variety.
That's it. So yeah, that was really cool. I met a lot of interesting people. I won $50 in a poker tournament, and I didn't have to pay to enter, so that was cool.
Oh,
I left with more money than I started with, and
that's
met
good.
a bunch of cool friends.
Nice. And you guys are going after this.
Yeah,
I wish I could go, fuck. Because it's like the shittiest excuse ever is because I have to rent a car so I can drive Ethan's ex-girlfriend to a cabin for her birthday.
That's true.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be that and like 4 other people, too.
Yeah.
In terms of gaming, since I knew we were going to do an episode on Diablo, I'm sorry to spoil it, guys, but yeah. And then I played all the way through Diablo 3 and purchased Reaper of Souls, which is the newest
Yeah.
expansion.
That's the only expansion, isn't it?
Yeah, well, like
The only
Necro,
Diablo-
there's like a Necro pack which you just get the Necromancer, but it's
Oh,
not
okay.
really an expansion. It's
Just
just
DLC.
Is he spoopy?
Yeah. Always spoopy.
He's as
Yeah.
spoopy as
Throw
Necromancer.
some skeletons at your enemies. It's great.
Rattle.
Yeah, I played all the way through it and had fun with it. Probably played like 5 nights this week of games. 3 of them were Diablo, 2 of them were Destiny 2.
You just been a fucking BattleNet whore.
Yeah, well, Destiny 2 I'm doing on PS4, so it's not through BattleNet at least. But
how is it?
Yeah, I really like it actually. You feel very. I like the first one, so that's I'm gonna like
preface it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
because the second one's supposed to be remarkably better.
It is. It is. You feel so mobile. Like when you're on a planet and stuff, there's like multi tiers of like buildings and like landscapes and stuff. And your jetpack, the way that you can get around, you feel like you can jump pretty much anywhere and run like pretty fast. I haven't even gotten a vehicle yet, but the movement feels really good. The guns feel like nice and like chunky. Like whenever you take a good shot, like you really feel it.
Yeah.
And I've only played PvE. I haven't played PvP, but I'm playing the Warlock class, like I mentioned last week.
Oh, Robot Wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
I played Destiny 1 for an hour and a half, and I was a Robot Wizard.
Yeah, so I'm my spec right now is Dawnblade, and then basically my ult is I have a fiery sword that you can like jump into the air, and it shoots like these, like when you slash the sword, it shoots kind of like these projectiles that kind of look like phoenixes falling to the ground.
Cool.
Oh man, it feels good.
I will say from the beta that I played.
Yeah.
I didn't like the specials as much as the last special. I never played much Destiny 1, so I guess I didn't get to know those like ultimates so well. But they felt like I was playing a Titan just because I wanted to go through all 3 classes without realizing you had to do like the intro story mode, which takes like 45 minutes.
Okay, bubble, right?
So I only ended up playing the Titan.
Yeah.
And no, he turns into Captain America. He gets like a shield and he bashes people.
Okay.
Is like the default one in the beta, I guess. And I was like, man, I feel so fucking limited because you don't get faster or anything, and you don't gain extra health. So it's like you just go into melee mode and you're like, well, this.
Thank God I threw away my fucking gun.
Yeah, shooter, this shield that I can hit people with. I can't even block bullets with it.
I like the effect of his like half cover all ability or whatever. I know there's like a subclass thing. I really like the style of Destiny.
Yeah.
I know it's very much modern sci-fi where everybody's wearing a helmet that in no way could you ever see out of. And
we got a HUD in the helmet.
It's Halo with capes.
Yeah. And I was a big fan of Halo, so.
Yeah, me too. But I don't know, man. I don't think you could fucking pay me to play Destiny 2.
Okay.
To be honest.
That's a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah, I think it's.
I got too many games to play.
Yeah. But if somebody was paying you to play one,
yeah,
you absolutely would.
I was being facetious, asshole.
Atmospherically, it feels like Halo. Obviously, it's not Halo.
No.
A bunch of Halo people are really upset for me even making that comparison, but it
Fuck 'em.
is. It
Fuck 'em.
It feels like a lot like Halo because you're shooting things, you're in space, and you have a jetpack, and it's an MMO, so there's a lot to do all the time.
Yeah.
There's PvE, PvP. There's the story. I've only done the story so far, and I'm having fun with it.
Maybe if I had people to roll with, I'd give it a chance one day.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So my week.
Well, what about you, though?
Ethan?
I got 2 words for you guys: lizard fights.
All right.
I mean, we've talked about lizards a lot on this podcast, and
well, we found out what they were. Now we got to make them fight.
well, that's it. We have to see which ones. I've set up a lizard fighting ring, so people bring their lizards in.
What was strongest lizard?
My ultimate goal is to find the Highlander wizard. Or wizard.
A Highlander lizard.
Highlander lizard. Highlander
Wizard
lizard.
fight sounds pretty cool.
Wizard fight does sound very good.
That's what you shoot Roman candles at your buddies.
Yeah.
exactly.
Because you're hick trash.
So we're still in the process where I think we're in the I think we're on the 12th round now of lizard fights, and we have thousands to go. Applications for the tournament are just rolling in.
Yep.
Yeah, the Gmail app we have has been blowing up. I can't believe you used the Lore Boys fucking email for that.
Yeah,
There's ridiculous. My battery is like half dead because of the notifications. The screen just literally never turns off.
No, it never turns off. I know.
I can't believe
they
it.
roll in at least 1 second.
My smartwatch too, just lit up all the time. It's absurd.
It's vibrated my hand off my arm.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm wearing this cast.
Yeah, so I mean we have a bunch of really strong contenders. There's one guy who's one lizard who's much bigger than all the other lizards. He looks like the clear winner.
Yeah.
But then there's one lizard that's really small and doing really well, and he just seems plucky. He's kind of like an underdog. I wonder if he's gonna win.
Lil Mac the lizard.
Exactly.
Little lizard Mac.
Yeah, Lizard Mac.
Okay.
So that's pretty much been my week. Like we were saying, it's been like hella busy.
Man, what's the best attribute to have as a lizard? Is it the teeth, the claws, the acid, the venom?
I think it's a strong tail.
There's a couple schools of thought. There's a couple. There's one school of thought that says you want a strong tail, your opponent can't pull it off. But then some lizards really thrive with the tail that falls off, and it's like they're unfazed.
Because then they can use it as a sword, like Dinobot.
That's exact. But you got to make sure your opponent doesn't get that sword. Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because now they have their own sword tail. And they got your sword tail.
That's true. They're dual wielding sword
tails.
Son of a bitch.
And you don't have a sword tail in sight. This is not a good place to be.
And video games otherwise?
Yeah, so I found a couple hours to play Skyrim. It's
Still? Or no, you reinstalled it after we talked about it last week.
That's it.
Yeah, fuck.
Well, it's so funny because the special edition is free this weekend.
Yeah, I know.
But
I saw.
I have it because if you have all the DLCs, you get it for free.
See, I never had Hearthfire.
Oh,
so I never got the free
That's fair.
the free version, but that's okay because you could just mod it to look better than the special edition with the workshop.
The special edition though, like for no work, it's Skyrim remastered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and
remastered with mod support on console.
Yeah.
I will say the best thing about the special edition is the load times. They are so much better than they have ever been for Skyrim. It's like a second load time, and which cuts the game so much because you travel so much in that game just trying to get rid of all the junk you have in your inventory that it's like, that was like the one thing I noticed. I've been like, man, I am flying through this game at speeds I've never dreamed of before. And I've obviously played my fair share of Skyrim.
What race do you play?
This time I made a new character. I made a dark elf.
Oh, okay.
I'm a spell thief.
You're edgy.
Yeah.
You said
an illusionist.
You said a couple hours here, maybe because your girlfriend might listen to it, but you told me before the cast
14
hours straight.
I said a couple hours here because I was trying to feign like the lizard fighting ring was a real thing.
14 hours.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's out of town.
Oh, yeah.
She gets back tonight. So yesterday it was all me. All day, baby.
I actually got lost on my way to DreamHack and I didn't have data. And I called him like, "Are you near your computer?" Because I knew he would be. Because he had a day off.
Can you alt tab out of Skyrim?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was Friday night and I did nothing.
I went to a wedding. I was planning on doing nothing yesterday, but then a buddy of mine was like, "Oh man, I'm sad and shit. I gotta come. I'm coming into town. You want to hang?" And I was like, "I'm playing Mag Runner Dark Pulse, shooting magnets Cthulhu for real for some reason." I don't know who thought that up. The voice acting is so bad.
Yeah.
Mag Runner?
In Mag Runner. It's like a very indie game developed. And it's like, I think probably the programmer is also the voice actor.
Yeah. Diablo 3 is remarkably easy to level this time around. Like, I played it again, and there's like this multiplier that happens now, and I remember playing Diablo 3 the first time, and I got to level 50 just playing 3 nights. I remember the first time it took me like a week and a half to get to that, and 3 nights, and I didn't have a job back then, so a week and a half.
Now with Diablo 3 has an end game, right?
Yeah.
So they're doing it like WoW. It's like they speed up the level up because new people coming in, all the good content's at the end of the game when you're max level, similar to World of Warcraft.
Okay. Apparently, if you get like a friend who's like really high Paragon level, which is like levels after the level, that can just like take you to these mythic dungeons or whatever they are. Yeah. If you do that, you can just like, if anything sneezes on you, you will die immediately. But they can.
But like, don't you get like EXP just for being there, and you can like you power level just in the
background?
background?
You don't have to do any damage or anything.
So you stay like 20 feet behind them while they do all the work, and like every monster they kill gives you 5 levels. Like you can in under an hour can get to max level very easily.
It's like shield leveling a Pokemon. Like you send out your Magikarp, then you take it back.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Or you just have your Magikarp as the first Pokemon to go out.
Well, that's shield leveling, exactly. Yeah. Send out Magikarp as the first one, then bring it back in to finish the fight.
In your first turn.
Yeah, finishing this fight.
I never knew there was a turn.
Send Master Chief out to finish the fight for Magikarp.
There would be a turn for that, though, I guess. It's a pretty big community for Pokemon. I can't remember what I can't remember what I used to call it when before I learned the actual term, but it's called shield leveling.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to call it sending out my weak Pokemons first before bringing them
out
back
my Rattata so I can get Eradicates.
Playing the game.
Yeah.
Something I was going to say. Oh, yeah, now that actually university has started in Hokkaido, my girlfriend is back there, so I'll probably be spending a lot more time playing video games.
I'm the opposite. I'm
5 days a week with her.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'm the opposite. I'm in university.
Yeah.
So I have no more, and I already had barely any time for video games. I have no time.
We're working on it. We'll keep up.
Yeah.
Speaking of video games.
Yeah, well... I mean,
learn me a game.
James already told us we're talking about Diablo, which
ruined it.
Idiot.
I ruined it.
No, you didn't. To tie into my week, I did play Diablo 2 as well because obviously compiling all the lore. This is one that I've actually been looking at for a long time. This was gonna be the first episode of Lore Boys, but because it was the 25th anniversary of Zelda and they were doing the big event, we decided to do Zelda instead.
Yeah.
But Diablo was actually gonna be the first episode that I did. So I've done a fair amount of research on it. And I basically just spent this morning and the last couple of days just compiling the stuff that I had.
Yeah.
And while I was doing it, I was like, man, I gotta play Diablo. Every time I would do that, I'd be like, I gotta play Diablo 2 whenever I'm done this.
You've got like also 30 hours of podcasting under your belt too now, so it's gonna be an even better.
It's a way better episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Peter,
My warm Stella Artois.
I know James has experience with Diablo 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Because we played both together.
And
Yeah.
limited in one.
Yeah, and Peter, you haven't played Diablo?
I played Diablo 2.
Okay.
Not much.
Okay.
I played a paladin, but I never got past
Hammered in?
Rakanishu
Oh, wow, okay.
or whatever. I think I got. What's the first boss in that area?
Boss is tough
in
to
Diablo
say.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
fir-
Andy.
Andy would be the first act boss, but like Rakanishu is special. Like I'm not sure what he means because that is
Yeah.
Rakanishu is just that noise the red things make.
There is an actual blue thing, a carver called Rakanishu,
Oh.
because
Their
Diablo
leader.
game. Okay, for people listening at home, Diablo game is you're top down looking.
It's isometric.
Yeah, isometric. You have spells, and you're basically trying to defeat the Lord of Hell. All the maps are procedurally generated, which means every time you load up the game.
Yeah, back before indie games ruined that word
Yeah.
for you. Yeah, Diablo did it.
Yeah, and Diablo did it. I mean, really, really
Yeah.
well. So no two maps are ever the same. Mobs, camps aren't ever the same. But there are certain ones which consistently show up. Rakanishu being one of them.
Yeah, it's
There's
like random shit built into a frame, which is why it's playable
Yeah.
instead of like strafe.
Although it is random, it's predictable, right? Because speedrunners know if this well is here,
Yeah.
then I have to go right to get to
Yeah,
the next
okay.
one.
They know it to an extent. Like
Yeah.
I watch like world record runners run Diablo 2 sometimes, and they get tricked out like all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, like you cannot predict accurately. You can there are telltale signs. It's like if you enter an area and the map goes left, then that means you want to go up instead of down because 75% of the time the exit will be up instead of down. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
So you're rolling the dice. Whatever.
Yeah, that's it. It's kind of like a gamble or random chance, but
Cool.
That's probably the least interesting aspect of the Diablo games.
Yeah. Anyway, just to get back to it, I've played Diablo 2, but not far. I played a paladin, and then I played. Well, because I was working for GameStop at the time, I managed to get a code for Diablo 3.
Okay.
And played Diablo 3, I got the guest pass where you can play for free to like level 7 or something.
Okay.
So I played Wizard and a edgy Demon Hunter
Okay. Yeah.
up till level 7, but that's as
you
far
can
as
play
I got.
to like the Skeleton King fight or something.
You
like that.
you fight the Skeleton King, and then it ends, and then it kicks you back, and if you're not at level 7, you can grind to level 7.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then carry your progress at the full game, but I never bought it.
Yeah.
As I've said multiple times on this podcast, I'm a trash monster in the PC gaming community because I don't have a Battle.net account
Yeah.
and have no intentions of making one.
That's fine.
You can play Diablo 2 without getting a Battle.net account, I will say.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Not anymore. We had to make new ones actually when we played.
Yeah, you have to make a... Okay, yeah.
You do
It's
need
not
a
in the
Battle.net.
Battle.net server. You make a Diablo 2 specific account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do have to sign up. To play online,
Yeah.
I don't think if you play single player, you have to. Maybe you would. Anyway.
They're always good games. I find I always have a lot of fun with them for a week to 2 weeks, and then they start to feel like a grind.
Yeah. Diablo 3, I know, had a rocky launch where when it didn't work, and then when people played it, eventually they didn't really like it that much.
Yeah.
I to this day don't really like Diablo 3, honestly.
Oh, no?
And I'm a huge fan of Diablo 3. That was like one of those formative games for me. It was StarCraft. I played StarCraft. My older brother played Diablo 2, and we would switch every now and then.
Yeah.
It was after I'd played Diablo 2 and beaten it that I went back. I actually rented Diablo 1 on the...
Rented?
Oh, no, sorry. I played it at a friend's place because they did release it later on the PlayStation. You could
really?
get Diablo 1, yeah.
Awesome.
But I actually played it at my cousin's house, actually, is where I played through that game.
Didn't Diablo 1 not have a run button, so you were like kind of shuffling around everywhere?
No, you were just always running. It didn't have like you couldn't differentiate between run
Okay.
and
There's no
walk.
toggle.
Yeah, there's no toggle. And I guess it was kind of like a middling speed between Diablo 2's run and walk.
Yeah,
To
okay.
stick up for Diablo 3 a little bit because I have played it at launch and now, and it did feel a lot more fun this time around.
Yeah.
Because there is so much more like numbers and stuff going on, so you do feel like you're making a lot more progress.
Okay, yeah.
And you do, like, if I want to get to end game, I can do it in a day, and then
Yeah.
I can be there and I can play with my friends and then back off. And Paragon levels now, they don't only increase your magic find, but it also increases like your stats. You can kind of allocate them. There's like offensive parts where you can put your Paragon
sweet.
levels. So if you keep grinding past that and just keep playing the game, there's like an adventure mode. There's a bunch of new modes that they put in. And there's a lot more to do, and it feels better.
Continued support is always appreciated.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have a huge gripe with Diablo 3. It wasn't for me, and it didn't quite feel like Diablo 2 because it's like you say, it did feel more in-game focused. Like, it felt like you were just rushing through the game to get to the end game, which
Yeah.
is a thing that I don't like about World of Warcraft.
That's
I understand why
Blizzard
they did it
games.
with. Well, I understand why they did it with World of Warcraft, but like, it's not Diablo. That's not That's not Diablo 2. That's not StarCraft. That's World of Warcraft. Absolutely.
So if you like Diablo, play Path of Exile.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, for World of Warcraft, it makes sense because they're on their 7th expansion now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yes.
if you're going to be releasing
Well, there's BC, Lich King.
BC Lich King, then it was Cataclysm, then it was
Pandaria.
Mists of Pandaria, then it was Warlords of Draenor, and now it is Legion. So it's the sixth
Yeah.
expansion.
I forgot about Pandaria.
Yeah.
If you count vanilla, there's 7 iterations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, it makes sense that they need to push people to the end game because that's where the new content is, because they rely on releasing expansions. But Diablo 3 at launch should never have felt like I had to get pushed to the end game. I should be enjoying every second.
'Cause nothing was out.
Game. Yeah,
What
that's
was the end game then, though? I remember there's no PvP. You had to like sign up and like get an email from Blizzard to be able to go to the arena, and everything looked like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And
What?
Yeah, like you couldn't even
Oh,
play PvP for the longest time.
Sorry, that reminds me. I did play one other game.
Okay.
It's called Mirage Arcane Warfare. So you guys know about Chivalry, right?
Yes.
Chivalry, like medieval warfare.
Yes.
Very popular game.
I have.
Yeah. They made a second game
Oh yeah.
called Mirage Arcane Warfare.
Okay.
That was marketed so poorly. The only reason I know it exists is because there was an article on PC Gamer saying, "Yo, it's free for a day," because the devs were just like, "Yo, we fucked up on marketing. It's free for a day. Everybody pick it up, give it a shot." So I don't like Chivalry. I think it's very slow. Like, it's interesting, but
Yeah.
it just the move speed is very slow.
It is slow for sure.
Mirage, same problem. Also, easily one of the most visually repulsive games I've ever seen in my life.
Visually repulsive. Like,
It's-
how bad could it be? Though?
The teams are like tangerine orange
Oh yeah.
and like light purple
nice.
are your color choices
Those aren't even complementary colors
for your teams, and it's horrid. It's a free game. I played it for 45 minutes,
Those
and I was
are
like, it's
Complimentary
it is
color.
a it is a disgusting looking game, and it plays like fucking boiled molasses. It's the worst.
Okay, orange. But sorry, orange and purple. They are complementary colors, are they not?
Purple and yellow are.
I thought orange and
No, it's
purple.
purple.
This is so off topic.
I don't know. Yeah, sorry. I was just
Sorry,
making,
yeah,
I was making a joke. Like,
I didn't even remember like what got me onto that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot to
yeah.
mention Mirage Arcane Warfare is.
it was Jamie talking about
it's-
the PvP and
It's
Diablo.
eye poison.
Yeah.
It's
But we don't really talk about gameplay on this podcast. Anyway, we
No.
talk about the lore.
Yeah.
So since we spent some
gameplay
time,
boys.
yeah, since we spent some time talking about World of Warcraft and StarCraft and such other games by the same developer, I will say right off the bat that there's no overlapping of the universes with the Diablo universe, because it actually has its own universe creation story in the lore.
That
Awesome.
has nothing to do with Azeroth.
That has nothing to do with Azeroth. That has nothing to do with
It's interesting.
Earth Alt. that's
That
in
fat
StarCraft.
guy with the hook and the maggots in his belly is in it though.
Yeah,
The butcher.
the butcher.
He's in WoW, isn't he?
No, you're
No,
thinking of World of War.
Warfiend?
Oh, he's in WoW. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not in Diablo. I don't know what you're talking about. So
The
I mean,
Butcher.
stylistically, there might be.
They look similar, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just design.
Fat guy
choices,
with
you know what I
hook?
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Roadhog?
a guy on the Horde side of things. When you start as the skeleton people,
Yeah,
or
he's thinking
the,
of Abomination.
Yeah, Abomination. That's his name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Abomination and Butcher do look similar. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the beginning, in the Diablo universe, or I guess not the universe at this point, there was only Anu, A-N-U, which.
Oh, this is part 1 of the Diablo podcast, by the way. Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case you guys were looking for some closure at the end there.
No, I'm not even gonna hit the games here.
Yeah.
Anu. So Anu.
Prehistory.
A-N-U.
What's his thing?
Well, I will say when I was typing up all my stuff, I kept writing ANUS just as a slip of my own mind. But that was a problem that I really struggle with because it would make me laugh every time I.
Freudian slip. You're just like.
Yeah.
Ethan's writing process,
Yeah.
writing anus alone in his
Instead of
room,
Anu, laughing. Yeah.
Girlfriend's out of town. For
Yeah.
14 hours of Skyrim.
Yeah.
Write anus on a Word doc.
Anus on Word doc. Anus. Okay. Inside a single perfect pearl was where Anu lived.
Inside a pearl?
Yeah, inside like a pearl is how it's described. He was the sum of all things, the alpha and the omega, good and light, or good and evil, light and dark,
Good and light.
physical, mystical, joy and sadness, all reflected in the crystalline facets of his form. He's actually this actually comes up in one of the books. So there are the games Diablo, and there's a series of books as well, which are all canon. Eventually, Annie realized that to become a more perfect being, he had to cast the evil side of him out. He wanted to be pure good. So he did just that, being the all-powerful thing in his little pearl. He cast out all his dark, and for a while he was just like at peace, just perfect harmony.
Did they become the dark became the lords of hell? Didn't they?
Well, they become Tathamet. So the dark sides of him eventually reforms, becomes something called Tathamet. The first prime evil is what she's known as. It's a 7-headed dragon.
Cool.
Is how it
Oh, I like that.
Which is like such. It's named Tathamet, and in Dungeons and Dragons, there's Tiamat, who is the 7-headed dragon.
And isn't there also Baphomet?
Bahamut would be Final
Bahamut.
Fantasy. Yeah. But
Yeah.
Baphomet is also, I mean, Tiamat is also Greek goddess, I think, of the sea, or like good fortune on the sea or something like that. And Baphomet is another ancient god.
Oh, okay, cool.
I definitely read fantasy where Tiam or Tiamat
That's
comes
it.
up.
Yeah.
Tiamat, I've heard.
Yeah.
Recurrent themes in a lot of fantasy, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So naturally, these two, Anu and Tathamet, don't like each other. Go figure. So what do? They start a war that lasts an indefinite amount of time, because time hasn't really been invented yet.
Wow.
Because there's no space. There's just a pearl.
Yeah, and G-Man's there.
And as I understand time, it
G-Man?
means space. So
I spaced out there, sorry. I was like watching the levels on the screen just like bounce up and down. I'm like, yeah, I'm really grooving with this.
fantastic. So after a while, they're waging their conflict. They each decide at the exact same time that, like, fuck this guy. It's time to pull out the big guns, and they each basically like Kamehameha each other.
Yeah.
With like ultimate force, and just blow the pearl that they lived in up. And this explosion basically created the universe.
The Big Bang.
So it's the Big Bang.
So that's how it happens.
Is what the writer. Yeah, it was two.
Somebody
guys.
get Neil deGrasse Tyson on the phone.
Yeah, there's a good guy and a bad guy.
I got a BattleNet password for him that he needs.
Well, you got to send him a book, because, like I said, I'm pretty sure these are from the books.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send him a book on paper? Like a poor person?
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
He doesn't read.
He doesn't read. There's no way.
Homeboy's too busy for that.
Yeah, he's too busy
Definitely
looking at stars and stuff.
Audible.
Making stars?
Man, he's not a scientist. He's a pop scientist. He does TED Talks, not research.
Whoa, James throwing shade at NDT
I was gonna say,
over
yeah,
here.
fuck.
Dang, there goes our NDT fan base. Holy moly.
Like, legitimately, he's great, though. He brings people who don't like science into liking science.
He's the new Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Despite the fact Bill Nye's not dead.
He's not dead.
He's still doing
around.
a show that I hate watching because he's trying to be hipper than he is, saying
The
things like lit. And
The
stuff
Netflix
like-
show is so
It's
fucking bad.
It's cringy, but I'm hoping it's appealing to a younger audience and making them want to learn science.
Yeah, me too. I watched the not that I have any kind of respect for the ideas that crystals have healing properties, but I watched the only one I watched was the alternative medicine episode.
Okay.
Where basically he's just like nobody really believes, in all seriousness, that crystals in your home will cure your cancer.
Did
But
he say that?
all he did was have some dude on who like fucking believed in
Believes
this
it?
and then ridiculed him in front of a studio audience. I'm just like, this is the most mean-spirited thing I've ever seen in my life. And then I just didn't watch any other words.
I haven't really watched it.
I got soured by
I think I saw Steve Aoki on it.
Yeah,
for
that's
like 30
the-
seconds at a party, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the crystal one.
Oh, is that it?
We need to mix it in, and he does like evil man voice all the time. It's hard cringe and it's very mean spirited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's surprising for Bill Nye. He seems
Not
like
that
a
I
nice
think
guy.
that crystals heal people. Obviously, I didn't get personally offended.
No, I
was
know
just,
that crystals.
I was
heal
just
people.
grossed
In
out.
the first episode, I think we talked about how Ethan had crystals all over his apartment. He's moved
I
since.
do.
But
I
the
bathe in
crystals-
caramel.
The crystals came with
The
it.
crystals
Yeah,
come
yeah,
with me.
yeah,
I bathe
yeah.
in caramel. My chi is aligned.
Fucking Bill Nye's gonna be so mean to you for no good reason.
Well,
And yeah, Steve Aoki.
I mean,
and,
Bill Nye has
Aoki
plenty
and
of reason to be mean to me, but
Steve
Yours was
Aoki and he mixed something together where they were just like, oh, look how stupid putting kale and water is, guys. That's not gonna cure what ails you. You need the Pepto-Bismol instead or whatever. I'm like, God damn it.
Steve Aoki is in the pocket of Big Pharma. That's a verifiable fact.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why he was just like, you're an idiot. You don't need any medication.
So a pearl just blew up. Is that where we're at?
Well, speaking of Kamehamehas,
Speaking of Steve Aoki,
Anu and I've already forgot the other one's name.
Anu and Tephilim.
Tathamet. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
So they die. They do kill each other
Oh,
like this.
they do a kill on each other.
Well, yeah, they get simultaneous kill.
So all good and evil is destroyed.
Well,
a perfectly
you say
wonderful,
that.
neutral Swiss space.
Actually, it's believed by some that Anu's spirit ascends to a paradise beyond the pearl. So there's a lot of symbolism in the Diablo games between heaven and hell. Obviously, it's like literal angels fighting literal demons from hell.
Yeah, it's like a very Christian mythos sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And
No Jesus, though.
well, it's funny that if you could call this guy Jesus, he does ascend to paradise at the end of it all, and it's like, okay, you've created hell in this universe, and this guy went you've created heaven in this universe, sorry, and this guy went somewhere else. Like, how good could heaven be? Right? This guy went to paradise, but we're calling that heaven. Okay. Yeah, so he ascends to heaven. His body is basically destroyed, ripped apart, and it leaves its mark on the universe as it is. So the Eye of Anu, which later becomes known as the World Stone, which is a very key item in all of Diablo lore.
I thought it would be like the kind of like primitive name for the planet that it all takes place on.
No. We'll get to the name of the
Soul stones are a thing in Diablo where they store the souls of things inside of it, like prisons for their souls. Is this stone a soul stone?
I mean, it's literally his eye, the Eye of Anu, like the most powerful being, the one who created everything.
Yeah.
And it literally is it's at the center of creation. It's like it didn't move from where the pearl was. The universe expanded out from it, so it's literally the center of all creation.
Cool.
For a time, anyway. His spine spins out into the primordial darkness, where it slows and cools over countless ages. It formed into the crystal arch, which is what the heavens are built on. Cool. Basically, so heaven is built literally on his back. Just floating in space.
You get to go there in Diablo 3. I remember. I think in Diablo 2 as well.
No, you never go in Diablo 2.
Okay, so I'm in Diablo 3.
Yeah. You certainly see cutscenes, but you venture there in Diablo 3.
Is that where the angels hang out when they're being all hooded and mean to each other?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
angels are catty.
Yeah, they are.
They really are. So from this arch,
Tyrael, you fucking bitch.
Oh my God! Who let the humans out again?
Yeah, exactly. Tyrael loves the humans. So fucked up.
Well, he didn't like him at first, but
okay.
He learned to love us.
We'll get there. He did, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, like Peter said, angels do come into existence on this arch. Now, Tathamet's putrid flesh, his corpse, does give birth to what's called the Burning Hells, which is hell, literally lakes of fire, and a race of demons literally rises from his flesh.
Cool.
Like I said, he's a seven-headed dragon. The 7 heads would give birth to the great evils. So there are 3 prime evils.
How did heads give birth?
Well, I guess they just kind of erupt out of them. I don't know. The flesh reshapes.
Wasn't Athena like a headache that Zeus had, and then somebody like chiseled her out of his head or whatever?
Maybe.
Oh my God.
Something like that.
James,
Tweet at me.
James, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but people in the past were pretty sexist.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
No way.
The past was a bit rough for women, and
I thought
basically everybody except
like,
us.
I thought the past was great.
You take out a rib, you make a woman,
Yeah.
and she causes all suffering for humanity forever.
Yeah.
Forever,
she's
just
the
because
problem.
she just could
Bitch was
not eat
hungry.
that apple
Yeah.
because she got tricked by a snake.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Sure you did, Eve. Sure you did.
Sure. Whatever. Right.
So he gives birth to 3 prime evils and 4 lesser evils, which are the devils in the Diablo games. So angels and demons. The archangels. Sorry, Dan Brown. Yeah. The archangels, which found home on the spine of Anu, would each take on an aspect of his greatness.
Paint the Mona Lisa.
So there's hope, valor, fate, wisdom, and justice. Those are like the 5 best parts of Anu.
Okay.
And the angels that rose, each one of them represents an aspect of that. Okay. So the names and their aspects, real quick: Ariel, hope; Imperious, valor; Ethereal, fate; Malthael, wisdom, who Jamie might know from Diablo 3.
Yeah,
we won't
just
touch on yet, but
thinking,
that'll be next episode. Stay tuned for why Malthael's an interesting character.
Okay.
And Tyrael is justice.
Yeah.
At first, he eventually takes Malthael's place as the aspect of wisdom.
Okay.
Huh.
There are 4 unaspected archangels who are still, at least one of them is still very important. Hadriel, Inarius, Iswell, and Yarius. Inarius is going to be the very important one for this game. Hadriel you meet in Diablo 2, actually.
Yeah.
He's in hell.
The aliens. The angels are cool. They have like laser wings.
They got laser wings. They got cool swords. You can never see their faces. Makes them super mysterious.
But you do see Tyrell's face.
Only when he becomes human.
Oh, they don't have faces otherwise.
We'll get to Diablo 3.
All right,
All
fine.
those names that you listed, like I recognize a few of them, but not as like Izual. I remember LFG Izzy runs.
Yeah.
Like rush, no slow. It's like,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
In turn, there are the 7 great evils, like I said before, each of their aspects. So Diablo, Jamie, Lord of
Hate?
Hatred. You got it.
Hey.
Mephisto, Lord of
Greed.
No. Lies.
No.
That's Bale.
Yeah,
Lies.
that's not Baal, but it's one of them.
Oh man.
So not
Mephisto is Spite.
Terror.
Terror.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
oh,
Is he a
scary.
spider?
Baal is, and it should be easy to know. The expansion was named after it.
Reaper of Souls.
No, the Diablo 2
Lord of
expansion.
Destruction.
Lord of Destruction.
Lord of
Peter got it.
Destruction.
Yeah.
Who's the lion
That's what I
one?
actually played. I
Is
played
he?
Lord of
It's
Destruction.
Belial.
Oh, Belial. Yeah, I always call him
sorry.
Belial. Yeah.
I think it is Belial.
I
I
think
mix
it is
up Bale
Belial.
and Belial all the time.
Yeah,
Got
they
it.
both got B's in their name. It's very
Yeah.
confusing.
And
Belial
elves,
is like
lots of
a
elves.
Hebrew
Yeah.
demon for real.
Yeah, he is. I think. I mean, Diablo is the devil for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
In
But like
Spanish.
in Hebrew mythology, I think Uziel and Belial are like an angel and a demon or something,
Right.
which I know from Mech Warrior because
from your Greek Orthodox upbringing, right?
exactly, yeah.
You learn a lot
Yeah, it's like maybe the Gold Cross betrays me a bit. But in Mech Warrior, there's a mech called Uziel, which I think is a hero, and then it has like an alt spec loadout with different
Okay.
weapons, where instead of having PPCs, which are the lightning guns, it has 2
Fire guns.
Gauss rifles,
Okay.
and that's Belial, at least. In Mech Assault, I think they may have taken some liberties with that.
Yeah,
Because
that's
they
fair.
named like the Cougar and the Puma
Yeah.
are alt specs, so the Puma's a completely different mech.
Yeah.
And a cougar and a puma are literally the same
That's
animal.
yeah, I know, yeah. But that's a lore boys for
Just
another
depends
day.
how old they are, right?
I think it's just a name thing.
Yeah,
I think some people call them cougars, some people call
Puma's
them
like
Oh.
Puma's like the 25 to
Yeah.
34 range.
Yeah,
Is it?
and then
Cougars
after
the
you're
35
cougar.
to 50 range.
Ah.
Peter knows.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So those were the 3 great evils, the 3 brothers, Diablo, Mephisto, and Baal.
Okay.
Then we have the 4 lesser evils, Duriel and Dariel, who is the boss.
Andy.
The bosses in Act 2 and Act 1, respectively.
Yeah.
Belial and Asmodan, who is the name of a character in World of Warcraft as well.
Asmodan is the guy in one of the trailers for Diablo 3, right?
If you
He's
play League of Legends, he is what's that guy? You play League of Legends. That ADC that has
Urgot.
all the little legs.
Urgot.
Urgot, that's right.
yeah, he's the fat dude with all the legs
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
the
yeah.
weird like upside down uterus mouth
Yeah.
full of fire.
Belial and Asmodan will get into a civil war that just lasts forever.
Asmodan
At
shall
one
rise
point.
as the
Yeah.
last prime evil.
They don't
is
like each
from
other.
the trailer.
Oh, really? I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like I said, GameStop, dude. I saw that cinematic 150 times.
150 times.
Ugh.
Jamie, do you know what the world of, we know Heaven and Hell, do you know where the games of Diablo take place? What it's called?
Azeroth.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah.
Welcome to Tennessee, where we got a big angel and demon problem. It's called Sanctuary.
Oh.
Yeah. And-
So many games do that.
yeah, well, I'll get into why it's called Sanctuary, because I first learned it was
We
called
established
Sanctuary.
many moons ago that
Yeah.
video games are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And there is one game per original idea.
Yeah.
And then every other game from there is just building on that idea.
To be fair, these guys did
Sanctuary,
it-
Magic Rocks.
Yeah.
Come on,
To be
guys.
fair, these guys did it in 1998.
That's it. I think you still have great games. Just to go aside really quickly, we'll come back. We can still have games that are really great that aren't like super original.
I was totally being again.
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys. Is it just because I'm the one that's not drinking because I have to
No.
drive in an hour?
No.
It's just because you guys take me super. I was just being
No.
facetious again, yeah.
I'm not fighting
Oh,
you here,
okay.
but I was just making a side point. Like Horizon Zero Dawn, I don't think innovated anything, but they just had such a polished end product, good story,
Yeah.
open world. Everyone's played that type of game, but they just did it so well.
Well,
I think.
the other thing is like the new Tomb Raider, which
Okay.
is
The old Tomb Raider.
99% derivative of other better games
Yeah.
is still fine
Yeah.
because it's like if you're gonna rip something off, rip something good off,
Rip
and then
Uncharted
do
off,
it
and
well.
you're doing
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I completely disagree with you. Any video game I play, every single thing better be completely original.
Completely original.
No names, no places, no weapons, no nothing should be the same. I have never played a video game because of
I
that.
have played Tetris. Okay. from the 80s.
That's been ripped off so many times.
And then I played Half-Life until I saw a box and I had to quit.
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. I was just like, fuck. I mean,
what the fuck? This game has rectangles.
Yeah,
oh, this game uses polygons.
Listen, I played Doom Half-Life. Okay, I know. And listen, Doom, I played Wolfenstein 3.
Yeah.
Which is free on iOS, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein?
Yep.
Cool.
Or it was for a period.
We both have Android phones.
Wolfenstein.
But for you guys out there, for you Apple fanboys out there, you want to try Wolfenstein? Maybe it's free still. Maybe it's not.
Maybe
we don't
check.
Know.
Maybe you download Titanfall Assault. It's also okay.
We don't
While
check
you're
our
in the
facts
iTunes
here.
store, leave us a review.
Or
do
it. You know what's
There you
even
go.
better than those games? Lore Boys Podcast on iTunes and Google Play.
Yeah. So the Great Conflict. It wasn't long after Anu and Tathamet destroy each other.
Is this going to be like World War I, where they call it the Great Conflict, but then there's also Great Conflict 2 because they were just like, oh, fuck, we did it again.
I wish, but no. The Great Conflict is actually ongoing. It just describes all the events where Diablo games and stories actually take place.
Okay.
It's literally just like. So it sums up to
The eternal struggle.
Angels and demons don't like each other. Who'd have guessed, right?
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
So they're just constantly at war with each other.
It's that theme of good versus evil that every book has done in some
That's it. Yeah. This is literally they ripped this Great Conflict bit off from Sun Tzu, and it's like it's pissing me off now.
The art of conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The art of the Great Conflict. So yeah, the angels and demons, they pick up their parents' mantles and just like, oh, we're evil, we don't like good, and we're good, we don't like evil. Frick off, you!
Frick.
Get off my existence!
Go
Get off
heck
my
yourself.
plane of existence.
Yeah.
Go heck and dang
The
yourself.
Great Conflict is just we had to clean it up a bit because it was brutal.
Yeah.
Slurs all over the place.
Well, it was. So angels in the Diablo games are not what they're chalked up to be in a lot of real world mythos.
They're not like
Real
real
world
angels, are
angels.
they?
They're real angels, but they're kind of like dicks in a lot of ways. So they're
Are they just pompous because they're just so much better than we are?
Well, they absolutely are
They're
pompous.
vain.
The idea that they're better than we are is that's way up for debate, homie.
Yeah.
I would lay claim to that. I thought that's what they believed.
No, yeah,
no,
that's it.
I wasn't saying anything offensive, guys. I was just quoting an angel.
Extremely
right?
self-righteous.
Yeah.
Just quoting an angel.
Just quoting
Put
an
that
angel.
on a piece of corn. Just quoting an
They
angel.
really need us though, because they need us to ring a bell so they get their wings, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, those idiots. What are you gonna do without us? Walk around without rings.
Tyrael, I want to live again, Tyrael.
Tyrael.
Is that Jimmy Stewart?
Tyrael?
No. Yeah.
Did Jimmy Stewart play Tyrael?
Dude, Jimmy Stewart played Tyrael.
Put that on a
Like,
piece of corn.
Asmodan, I'm coming for you, you son of a bitch.
Right.
Ooh, that's a thumbnail and a half.
Yeah, that was a
Jimmy
good,
Stewart is.
that's a good Jimmy Stewart too. I'm proud of you.
You found the Easter egg in the podcast. You can stop listening. Now.
Yeah.
That's where it is. Unless I think of something better.
Yeah, that's it. Which you never know.
It's a beautiful life.
So everything the angels and demons fight over, because they fight over literally everything, pretty much everything they destroy in their conflict. Every time they put their filthy fucking hands on something, they just muck it all up.
They just can't fucking work together.
They just can't get along.
They got to get a
It's-
divorce.
it's
Honestly,
annoying.
all they do is fight
So in this time, the angels and the demons are all
or fuck each other. That would probably also relieve some of the tension.
That's a great point, and we will get there,
And
Peter.
an even better thumbnail.
I was literally just saying though, like the demons themselves are fucking amongst themselves. They're producing offspring, and the angels are
Okay.
producing offspring. They have sons, they have daughters,
Okay.
etc. So there is one angel, Inarius. Like I said, he's one of the angels that doesn't represent one of the aspects of Anu.
He's a
but
freeloading
still-
angel.
It's still important.
Yeah,
He-
sits at home in a wife beater with his laser wings covered in chicken grease.
Yeah. So he's like really sick of the conflict. He's like, this is bullshit. We've been fighting for a literal eternity since the dawn of time. All we have done with these people is fight. I'm over it. Like,
Fucking
I'm sick of
hippie.
it. So he starts gathering followers. None of the main angels, none of the main devils decide to follow him. But the daughter of Mephisto, Lilith, is with him and is like, yeah, you know what? This is bullshit. Why are we always fighting?
Do they bone down?
They will actually bow down eventually.
I like that phrase. I haven't heard that one in a while.
Bone down.
down.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite ways of because it's kind of like a filthy term,
Yeah.
but it's not crude. I
Yeah.
find. Yeah.
I listened to a podcast, Duncan Trussell, and he always refers it to as humping. And it's
I don't like that.
I know. He's like, he's just like get together and everyone just starts humping and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, nobody talks like that anymore.
It just makes me think of dry humping. It sounds boring.
Dry humping is exactly. That for some reason I find that like a more acceptable way of like talking about things. Dry humping is a joke because teenagers do it, but when you just like refer like
regular
humping,
sex
it's like,
as humping, that is kind of
It
gross.
makes you feel dirty.
Yeah, I think it like appeals to your pre-puberty days, like where you're not confident enough to have the experience or anything.
Yeah.
So you're trying to talk about it like you know something, but you're like,
Humped her last
yeah.
night.
So we got together, we had a hump.
Yeah, I went to Jenny's place and we humped.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
The fuck are you, a camel?
Oh.
Oh!
That podcast jinx. James, you owe me a Coke.
That was weird. That was a weird thing to watch and also hear.
It was good.
From different angles.
Yeah.
We ended on the camel.
It's good because I almost went dromedary too. Because that's one hump.
Oh, really?
Camel has 2 humps. Dromedary, 1 hump.
Which one of them smokes?
Camel.
And that's why
Duh.
Enderell, or whatever her name is
And-
based off of an
A
andromedary.
dromedary. Yeah. Not an andromedary, but a dromedary.
Andromedary.
That would be a robotic dromedary. Would be an andromedary.
Oh yeah, a dromedary.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, I might be getting a VR headset soon. So, yeah, like this weekend, like tomorrow.
Oh,
And
you got some cash lying around?
No. I think I'm getting it as a gift, but I don't want to like. But anyway,
He's calling it out on the podcast. If he doesn't get it, everyone's
yeah.
you're gonna have to buy it.
no, yeah, I will.
Turns out I got a $40 gift card to Starbucks.
Andromedary, that's a robot with 1 hump.
Yeah.
I can get my VR headset, my Andromedary. Don't need to leave my apartment.
Yeah. Just hump all day.
Yeah, man.
Just gotta hump
A buddy
it
of mine's gonna get an Oculus Rift soon for his PC, and
Okay.
he was just like all that VR porn, and I'm just like,
What VR? porn?
with no irony whatsoever. I was like, dude, I have to try it. I absolutely have to.
You need to give me the headset. You need to give me a room in your computer, and
He's got
maybe
his-
your credit card.
He's got an office. He's got an office.
I
in
don't.
his
Is there
apartment.
free VR porn yet? I believe there's VR
Probably.
porn. Is there free VR porn though?
I don't know if it's said it on the podcast, but one of my friends tried it out, and he had the aspect ratios all wrong. So instead,
Oh yeah, everyone was huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember like Amazon women that are 40 feet tall, like walking towards him, he's as big as their feet.
Hey, that's somebody's fetish.
Yeah.
Being tiny.
That's it. And my apartment's all set up for VR already because with the podcast, we put up foam things on all the walls.
Yeah, so you can't get hurt.
Yeah. So speaking of humping, Lilith and Inarius,
Jesus Christ.
they be humping. They're looking for a place to escape the war. They're looking for a place to bring all these people, this exodus, with them to get away from the war. They end up stealing the World Stone.
They just want a want a quiet little place to go 20 toes with.
Exactly.
Rather.
Yeah. So
Toes in?
Yeah, you want to go? You want a nice little place to go 20 toes in.
I've never heard that.
20 toes, also fucking.
20 toes? That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, they're 2 people each. You got 2 feet.
you got 10 toes. 10 toes.
Okay.
That seems like a lot.
That seems like a lot of toes for 2 people to have.
For a sexual intercourse, I don't understand this.
I've never incorporated more than 2 toes in any of my sexual.
Well, that's good.
Call him James Two-Toe Miller.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, it's on his Tinder profile right under it. Right under it's just like 2 toes Miller, and then it's like okay.
So they steal the World Stone.
Oh right, this.
Yeah. And they create Sanctuary. So that's why it's called that, is because it was their sanctuary away from the war.
They wanted to fuck.
Yeah, they kicked Lilith and Roland out. And
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
to go.
And in the process of their fucking, they create the Nephilim.
Okay, so this is the same thing. So Nephilim is a standard half angel, half demon thing, right? Because Dante from Devil May Cry is a Nephilim.
Nephilim in the religious context are the chosen people of God. In Christian context.
All right.
So they're in Leviticus, I think, and they're literally like the God's chosen people or whatever.
Okay.
This is humans in the Diablo world. It's not spelled the same.
Oh,
It's-
we're Nephilim.
Yeah, Nephilim in the religious context is spelled Nephilim.
Yeah.
And in the Diablo games, it's Elam instead of 2 I's.
Nephilim.
Nephilim instead of Nephilim. Yeah, and this is people. And humans are the product of angels and demons fucking.
Oh,
Is
that's
what
why
they-
we have a little bit of good, a little bit of
Is
evil.
what they find out, yeah.
Some people are bad, some people are good.
Yeah, I was more on your side of things, Peter, actually, because I thought that it was you were the chosen one, because they always call you Nephilim in Diablo 3 anyways. They don't call other people Nephilim.
Well, it's how because you speak with a lot more angels and demons than necessarily other people.
Than a normal person, yeah.
Yeah, and it's how the angels and demons refer to humans, as they call them Nephilims, basically.
Yeah, because Dante in Devil May Cry, at least in DMC, the newest one, is a Nephilim, and his mom and dad.
Is there
were
a
deemed
new
an
Devil
angel.
May Cry?
Well, I mean, it came out whatever, like 4 or 5 years ago. It was DMC when he had dark hair. Is emo Dante?
I don't remember this.
I thought it was good.
The last one I played was the third one.
And then
which was good.
the Riders of the Apocalypse in Darksiders are Nephilim as well. They're neither Anger nor Derman. Anger nor Derman.
I'm not sure in the religious context how they're created, but they're the chosen people.
But in Diablo, they're
in Diablo, they're created. They're humans and they're made from angels and demons. Fuck yeah.
Nice. Can they fuck each other if we're all related?
I mean, there was a lot of angels and demons that left.
Oh, okay.
A lot. There's a fair number.
Sanctuary was a regular old buttered up orgy pit.
Exactly.
Nice,
yeah, for a while anyway, and then then it got infested with kids.
If you actually
gotta wrap your shit up in the orgy pit, or else you ruin the orgy pit for everybody because there's fucking kids there.
Kids everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
you can Google it actually. Diablo does Andy, and there's a lot of great content.
Okay.
Add an R34 at the end if you want the good results.
Oh yeah. All right.
So it was
Tweet it at me.
So
Did you get any Sonic?
Sonic porn.
I thankfully did not get any Sonic OC porn.
So listeners, what the hell are you doing? No Sonic porn for Peter. There better be some dang Diablo porn for Peter.
The dang old Diablo porn.
Dang old Diablo porn.
So spiky.
You just grab on. They're like reins.
So it's quickly realized that the Nephilim, this is to your point earlier, the Nephilim are actually just as powerful as their parents.
Oh, damn.
So these first humans were just as powerful as all the angels, all the demons, just like on par. You know what I mean? It's like literally kids.
That's an angel trope too, like the son becoming as strong as the father.
Yeah.
And that whole thing. Yeah. Anyways.
So in Arius,
Becoming as strong as the father, and old tropes like, son, you are finally as strong as me.
yeah. Son, we arm wrestle. We have not broke arm wrestle for 3 days.
The table just below them collapses to splinters.
The house falls down around
That's the
them.
whole thing about the guy wanting to have sex with his mom and actually having kids with it. And
Oh, that's Oedipus.
Oedipus,
Yeah.
yeah.
his father. Yeah, that whole thing. It's still popular after all these years.
Having sex with your mother. If you say so.
No, isn't it?
Guys, Google it. You'll get more hits than Diablo porn, I guarantee.
Yeah, dude, sure.
So, to my point earlier about angels being kind of dicks, in Arius is like, kill all the kids. Kill them all. Like, these things shouldn't exist. They're abomination. Fucking kill them all.
Put them in a bag full of rocks, toss them out of the boat.
Toss them in a river, yeah. Lilith, the demon, on the other hand, wants to raise them as an army and conquer both heaven and hell. So she's not much better, but at least she's not advocating genocide, I guess.
But
No.
Yeah.
It's prolonged.
Not
They
of
get
her-
their lives.
Not
at
of
the
her,
very
not
least,
of,
yeah.
not genocide of her children, but definitely genocide of like her relatives.
Her
and
relatives,
her old enemies.
yeah. Her relatives, old enemies. It's an obvious play for power.
I've always advocated to use, like, my parents have used me to help them do things. Like, I got my TV and my table back because my mom needed help moving shit around her basement, so it was a good excuse to head out there.
Your mom
But, like,
ever asked you to perform the lesser of 2 genocides?
Does your
once-
dad come to you with one genocide and your mom is like, I got a better option. A lot of people are still gonna die, but how about this?
Yeah. It's like if you don't get what you want, you know, you ask mom, then you ask dad. We're
Yeah.
just like, Dad,
Mom said this.
Mom said she wanted me to kill all the angels. He's just
Yeah.
like, well, son, I was suggesting we just kill all of you.
Yeah. exactly.
Okay, Dad, thanks.
Exactly like
I
that.
might go talk to Lilith again.
Yeah. I'll check what mom's doing.
So Lilith and Inarius fight. Inarius ends up winning, and he imprisons her in a place called the Void.
Ooh, is that where the Protoss are? I was gonna call them the Protheans.
Now
That's
I
wrong.
will say there's no universe overlap. Maybe there's Void overlap.
Yeah, the Zelnaga would be the ones they'd run into.
Yeah.
Oh right,
Yeah.
yeah. Just chilling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this sparks a conflict between the angels and demons once more, but in Sanctuary. So on Earth, now angels and demons are fighting here. I forgot to mention earlier, but the World Stone has created a barrier around Sanctuary that not only stops angels and demons from getting in, but prevents them from knowing where it is. They don't detect the presence of Sanctuary.
Oh, cool.
Who has set this up? Is this just random right now?
I think
This
the
is
World Stone.
Inarius. Inarius and Lilith set this up.
Because they want the Nephilim, they like them, and they want them to be
But
around.
Anu's eye
Oh no, sorry. They
created this shield
they set up this-
simply because it exists, right? Not consciously.
No, Inarius used it to create the shield.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
This shield was set up because Inarius and Lilith wanted to get out of the demon and angel war, and they knew they'd never be out as long as the other side still knew about it. They wanted privacy for their orgy, basically.
It's like being in a gang. You're never really out.
it's curtains for their orgy is what the World Stone is.
Okay.
Humanity becomes a later and saving humanity.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that was for humanity, but no, it's got two gods' selfish desires, and humans are just able to stay.
Like we're a byproduct, right?
Yeah, it's a happy accident that they're caught in the bubble of all the demons and stuff.
Exactly. There is a dragon in the sky, Tragul, which also, when Sanctuary was created, this force basically just manifested as Sanctuary's guardian. But he wasn't consciously designed, so I guess he could play to your point of being this represents like the humanity because he fights for humanity constantly against both angels and demons. Yeah, and he's basically a constellation in the sky that manifests in the form of a dragon.
Cool.
And he sends a guy into the void to recover another guy at some point, but we probably won't touch on that because it's kind of minor.
I gotta say though,
it happened. You just touched on it. Minor point. It happened.
Yeah, that's the touch.
Yeah. I actually don't appreciate when games are like humanity. We need it for the greater good because we are kind of just like infesting the planet right now. Like we might get there where we're for the greater good. We're not there right now.
Yeah, I mean we ended up here by accident too. Yeah.
Exactly. It would be really cool to play a game where.
Is your mic off?
Looks like it actually.
Oh, dude.
Oh, how long?
I don't know how much you're out of, but
Okay. Well, I guess we just keep going, right?
Rip James. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh well.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's not the first time it's happened.
Yeah.
Actually, to that point, I would say it's not that in the Diablo universe. It's more like
Fuck.
Humans are just like fighting for their survival because they've been created, and it's like right away. Like one person's like fucking kill them all, another person's like no, we raise them as our army of slaves.
Yeah.
So now they're just like fuck all this, you know?
Yeah, that's it. It's like the humanity always being. It'd be cool to play a game like where humanity's not like the savior of everything. Like that you play a game where you kill all of humanity and you are better.
Destroy All Humans was the name of the game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that game was awesome.
it was.
It was a good
It
game.
gave direction to the whole universe.
So this leads to what's called the Sin War, and this is not the Sin War 1, the Sin War 2. I don't know.
It's SIN.
Yeah, the Sin War. It's about sinning because we got a bunch of sinners in our land of angels and demons.
In Florida.
In Florida, Japan. The peninsula of Florida on the island of Japan.
Oh, I wasn't making reference to where we're currently staying.
No, I mean I am though.
I see.
There is sin in Florida here in Japan.
Yeah. Okay. There's no sin in Japan.
Hokkaido, Florida. Japan.
Hokkaido, Florida. The Mr. Sparkle Factory, which I have sadly learned is not real.
Yeah, well.
It's the whole reason we fucking came here.
We're all disappointed
about the Sparkle Factory. Like I was on board when we got on the plane, but what is it?
It's from The Simpsons,
Oh,
which I took as at face value
Gospel.
as based on fact.
Yeah.
But I guess
We all
fuck me for thinking that, right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Simpsons is usually pretty credible though.
I think so.
Yeah.
The real celebrities are in it. They're all real people. Why wouldn't everything else be?
Yep.
Maybe.
What?
Maybe.
And we're real people too.
I am.
So as time goes on,
Or not. Maybe I'm just a very complex Siri program.
We are actually all the same person. Ethan just does both Peter and James's voice.
Yeah, he's I was gonna say he's a ventriloquist, but since we record this, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I
You can't
know.
see his lips move anyway.
Like he doesn't put his hand up my butt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's where I went with
Mine
that.
though.
Yeah.
On the
all
other
the time.
hand.
All the
On the other hand.
It makes it difficult
He's
to scroll
20
my
toes in.
page while I'm doing the podcast because
Exactly.
I got
20
hands up
toes
butts.
deep.
20 toes deep. 20 fingers deep.
That's like 4 hands. Why would you need that?
One cup.
It's not a marionette.
Why not? More hands equals better. It's because I puppeteer your hands and then you puppeteer James's hands. But I'm puppeteering your
like
hands to puppeteer
a
his
human
hands.
Marionette
Exactly.
centipede, yeah.
Marionette centipede. There we go. Okay. So as time goes on, with Inarius presiding over Sanctuary, the prime evils eventually discover its existence. So Diablo, Mephisto, and Baal eventually realize, like, hey, what's that dark spot over there that nobody can see or can detect? So they look in, basically. They immediately recognize, like, hey, those humans, they would make a good weapon.
Yeah.
Just like Lilith. So I guess it's a demon thing.
Yeah.
Anarius during this time had set himself up as the
Demons predictably just love slavery.
Yeah, demons in the Diablo universe are just like comically bent on destroy everything, fuck, kill, fire. Like they just love destruction, which I guess is where their names come from. Hatred,
Lords of
terror,
Destruction, you mean?
Hatred, terror, destruction, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So Anarius has set himself up as the ruler of all. He's like the like everybody knows him on Sanctuary. Everyone's like Anarius is the guy who rules Sanctuary. It's his own little like puppet state.
Inarius.
So the devils, when they look in, they realize humanity's a valuable weapon, but they still can't penetrate the.
Was it like that poster from the Shawshank Redemption where there's like, wait a second, how long has this been here? And they tear it down and
there's a big hole.
And Sanctuary's there. They're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But they.
What about you, Mrs. Fussy Britches? And tears it down.
Yeah. Unlike Shawshank, they couldn't actually get in to the hole.
Oh, okay.
Because the shield was still up. They could just basically like scry through it.
Okay.
And so they want to influence the humans, and how do you think they do it? They create a religion.
Oh.
They send agents, minor agents who can get through the shield down.
Does it like scan your demon levels before it lets you
Yeah,
through?
yeah. It's like,
Or
this guy's demon's level over 9,000. Not letting him in.
It's like, this guy looks pretty evil,
Yeah.
but I don't know, scan's not turning anything up.
There's a border post.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Border Patrol, like, scan them.
Yeah.
You just
Put all
made-
your demon shit in this plastic bucket and like push it through the thing.
You just made a connection in my mind though, like that religion is not actually like a school of thought that is right, but is created by these things of ultimate power. Like God is not on necessarily the best path, but has the most power, so he's able to just like
To
influence enough
people.
people. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, it's that's how thought works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can do that with people too, without even religion, right? That's politicians.
Yeah. Hey, you made my brain think.
Diablo, much deeper than I ever
I strive to make brain think.
Yeah.
My brain think good. So Anarius sees that the devils have created this religion called the Triune.
That's a terrible name.
Well, yeah, I have this comparison. The Triune is basically hell is the van, the primevals are the creep inside the van, and the Triune is the candy to get the kids to come into the van.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like that's their way to get people to come to the dark side.
Go play in the park, Jimmy, but don't talk to any demons you don't know.
Don't take any religion from any demons.
You want to get saved, don't you?
That might be a good thumbnail. Who knows? So
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna have to scrub through this whole thing.
So Anarius similarly sets up the Cathedral of Light to combat the Triune. He's like, how do you fight religion? With another religion.
Oh yeah.
And as we Earthlings know, that
extremism
can only
fights
end
extremism real well.
Yeah. So the two religions.
This is working great for us right now.
So the two religions apparently have a pretty petty conflict for most of their lives.
Just a slap fight.
Only the very highest ranking members of either church knows that they're connected to either angels or demons. Most people think they're like earthly churches, and they just assume the word of God is true.
Okay.
And so they live most of their lives unaware of the real struggle. But then one day, who should break out of her void prison but Lilith, daughter of Mephisto.
Oh shit.
So she returns to Sanctuary incognito. They got Border Patrol at the big shield outside, but they do not have Border Patrol at the gate to the void.
That's always the problem, right?
Yeah, so she tears down that poster, crawls into the hole, no problem, and emerges back in Sanctuary. Nobody really knows she's back, but she decides once more that she's going to use humans to her advantage to conquer both heaven and hell and Sanctuary. She sets up a man called Uldisian, who will be known as the first sorcerer.
That sounds very familiar for some reason. I've heard the name.
So
To me too, and I just don't know that yet.
Yeah.
I had never heard the name when I started doing the research.
Really?
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like Ulysses. It's spelled similar. But
Maybe I just dreamt it.
yeah,
Excuse
maybe.
me.
Um,
the sneeze.
So there are classes in Diablo. There's the sorcerer, there's the necromancer, there's the barbarian, there's the paladin, as you said earlier, Peter.
Yep.
This will go on to be known as the first mage or the first sorcerer.
What's the difference between a sorcerer and a wizard? Nothing?
There is no wizard class. Sorry.
Isn't it wizard in D3?
D3 is wizard.
Oh, is it? There you go. Okay. So
Same
this-
shit
It's the
though,
first
right?
sorcerer. Yeah.
More or less.
This is the first sorcerer then. I will say in tabletop games, the difference between a sorcerer and a wizard is a wizard studies to learn their powers, and a sorcerer is born with their powers.
Cool.
So a wizard is typically stronger, but it takes them longer to get there.
Okay.
Whereas a sorcerer is born strong.
Cool.
Yeah. Well,
I actually watched some people play D&D a couple of days ago.
oh yeah, you mentioned you were.
Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna roll my character at some point.
Cool, dude. I just got a new DM for my game, so I'm very excited.
Nice.
Just a little side note. I mean, because Uldyssian is the first sorcerer. There's Rathma, who's the first necromancer. There's Bulkathos, who are the first barbarian. And all these people are firstborn of an angel and a demon. So they're not born.
Okay.
These are the first Nephilim, the ones who were created by angels and demons, not ones who were created by people, like their descendants.
Wait, do you have to have like one angel and one demon to make a Nephilim?
Yeah.
Or
If you have 2 angels, you have
an angel baby.
If you have 2 demons, you have a demon. If you have an angel and a demon, you have a Nephilim.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're all like.
So like Peter said, that's where humans have the good and the bad in them.
Okay. I didn't catch that the first time.
You get
That's really cool.
You got 2 spiders, you get 1,000 spider babies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but if you get a spider and
a spider and a grasshopper, you get a human.
You get a spider that can jump and it's horrible.
8 legs of like swing.
Yeah.
Like, it goes
No, I was just thinking of just like a fucking like parent teacher meeting of like this regular looking human kid.
Yeah.
Big disappointed looking spider and a grasshopper.
I was picturing 2 regular size, a spider and a grasshopper, just like sitting like on the bench and like can't speak English, can't communicate at all, but they have their regular kid enrolled in school somehow.
It's like when they call
Somebody
customer
write this down. This is a good sitcom.
when they call customer service, it's just like, oh, hi, yeah, I'm gonna take the call for my parents.
Yeah.
They don't speak English very good,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're gonna let me do this for them.
Yeah.
They're a spider and a
A
grasshopper.
spider and a grasshopper. This
I
kid,
actually
this
do
kid
that a
needs
lot for my neighbors.
Yeah.
There's a nice Polish lady that has a hard time with customer service. And I
Oh, really?
often, I do the customer service.
The spider and the grasshopper got called in because the kid kept saying my father is a spider and my mother is a grasshopper. And the teachers were like, Billy, you have to stop saying your father's a spider and your
This
mother's
is
a grasshopper.
ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah. We have to be real every now and then, Billy.
And they come in and it's like, oh, hello,
Hello, Mr. and Mrs.
sir
Billy.
and madam.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Uh,
okay, yeah. What did your father say?
He
Sure,
rubs the arms together for the
That's how they communicate.
Yeah.
But it's just a mating call. The father's very attracted to the teacher.
Yeah. How do spiders communicate? I know in Charlotte's Web how they do.
Vibration.
Yeah, well, in
Yeah.
Charlotte's Web, she can speak.
Yeah.
And
But
she
can
writes
spell.
on her
She
web,
spells,
too.
yeah.
Well, they speak to each other. It's a talking animal movie.
Which one's better?
Charlotte only writes
Charlotte's Web or Babe?
Babe.
Charlotte's Web.
No, Charlotte's Web. But I mean, Babe was a movie. Charlotte's Web was a
No,
book.
the animals all speak to each other in
They
Charlotte's Web.
communicate. Yeah. But
Yeah,
The,
not to
the
people.
spider itself.
She writes in English.
Yeah.
The spider itself. Yeah.
Some pig. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlotte's Web was a book, but Babe was an
Movie.
actual event
There is
that was filmed.
Yeah, well, it was a document. It was a documentary.
No, the
Yeah.
talking pig,
Yeah.
a real talking pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the Charlotte's Web cartoon.
Speaking of talking pigs, aka Nephilim, aka human.
humans talking pigs.
That's a great series.
So Lilith comes back. She sets up this man, Uldyssian, by giving him magical powers, then killing people in the town with what looks like these magical powers. So now this guy's framed, right?
Dr. Manhattan's him.
He's got to leave town. He's like, oh shit! Like everybody's like, dude, like you were just showing off your magical powers. These people are obviously killed
My
by
brother got
magical
cut in
powers.
half by a laser beam.
Yeah,
You're the only guy in town with laser
Who's
beams.
shooting up laser beams.
It
Exactly.
wasn't me, guys. I swear.
Well, Uldyssian is convinced that every human has this ability to unlock these magical powers.
Okay.
So he sets off.
Is he right?
Well, yeah, he is actually. He sets off to unlock these powers in people. So he creates something called the.
The ooze? Is this the secret of the ooze?
No, I lost the name of it somewhere in my notes. He basically creates a third religion to come, and this is a religion created by people.
Then things getting a little cluttered now.
It's not a religion per se, but he starts like a cult following where he's like, it's like a monk. It's a monastery.
Scientology, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He's David Miscavige and or L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
Going after big religion.
Yeah. L. Ron Hubbard, that's the guy who makes the Tesla cars.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And David Miscavige is the guy who tries to convince us all that the Tesla cars are real good for us.
So how it went was at first he struggled to convince people, but Lilith is actually helping him along by granting people these powers. In the people that he goes and see, he'll like touch someone on the head, and be like, "Oh, Lord, grant this man some powers,"
Yeah.
and then Lilith is actually giving this person powers. So he's becoming more and more convincing to a point where him and his mage cadre can actually do this now. They can actually unlock, because people do, like, Lilith was only unlocking people's powers too, and the World Stone is keeping everyone's growth in check, all the Nephilim. So Inarius controls the World Stone, and he's created the shield, and he's created the cloaking device, and now he's created a device which, because he realized the Nephilim are very strong, he's created a device which keeps them in check, stops them from growing to their full potential. And Lilith basically just unlocked this in Uldisian and his followers, and it got to the point where they could start doing it for new followers as well. The World Stone is still dampening their powers by a large degree. So they're unlocked, but they still have like 6 DLCs to go to get the full game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So in the meantime, Lilith understands
He installs World of Warcraft on their computers for them. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So they got Vanilla WoW right now. And they're like, oh, this is great, but
could be better though.
Legion's better, right?
Oh, just don't start that.
You know I'm not on the side that I just said that I was. Lilith,
and I'm just trolling you guys.
Yeah.
So
play WoW.
Lilith is the only one to understand that she has to hit the World Stone. She's got to heist that World Stone.
So we have Lilith's 11.
Yeah, basically.
Nice.
So she sends Uldisian, along with Rathma, the first necromancer,
George Clooney,
to the World Stone, where, it was actually Matt Damon, but anyway.
George Clooney's in Ocean's 11 too.
I know, but
Danny Ocean.
But Rathma was played by
Matt Damon.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Well, I'm not looking at the cast list on the IMDb.
Yeah, I got the IMDb up here.
Yeah, I got the IMDb here. Diablo 3 cast Matt Damon and Rathma.
So they defeat Bulkathos, the first barb, who is working for Inarius, basically, to reach it. A little fun fact. So
did they ghost him?
They get to the World Stone, and what Uldisian does next blows everyone's mind.
Commercial break.
Yeah. That was a good time for it. So he does what Inari himself couldn't undo. He changes the structure of the World Stone. So he manipulates it in a way that Inarius can't fucking undo what he did.
How do you... That's the Eye of Anu, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
So he changes it in a way that it's no longer weakening any Nephilim's power, and it's actually speeding up the growth of their powers. So he's just like gone Super Saiyan on everybody.
It's like Akira.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tricky mod you just did there.
Yeah. So now the self-proclaimed ruler of Sanctuary Inarius has to become more directly involved. He sends a servant to assassinate Uldisian.
He has to become more directly involved, so he still gets a servant to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
This is more directly involved as in doing anything at all to stop this.
What opulence.
Yeah, because he has never realized that Lilith... He hasn't realized yet that Lilith is behind Uldisian and all this stuff, so he's just like, oh, it's just another Nephilim. He doesn't know to go after the World Stone. He doesn't know that it's limiting his powers and all this stuff, while Lilith was like whispering in his ear, kind of saying like, hey, you got you do got to do this stuff.
Yeah. This is still books, yeah.
This is still books, yeah. Absolutely. I'll let you know when we get to the beginning of Diablo 1.
Cool.
So he sends a servant to assassinate Uldisian. That fails. Inarius becomes desperate, and he's scared of Uldisian at this point. Because, like I said, the Nephilim are just as strong as angels and demons. And here's one with a huge following. And, I mean, the guy just unlocked his Super Saiyan level. You know what I mean? The guy just literally just leveled up. Yeah. So he actually turns to Diablo. And he reaches outside of Sanctuary and makes a pact with Diablo to help him curtail the powers of the Nephilim.
Don't do that.
So, well, it seems like a bad idea, right? You make a literal deal with the devil.
Faustian fucking deals never turn out well.
Yeah. So Diablo did approach Inarius, and that's when they made the deal.
Yeah.
And as this is happening, Tyrael discovers Sanctuary. So the angels only now caught up to the fact that, holy shit, there's something behind this poster in this prison. So the high heavens immediately view Sanctuary and its inhabitants.
I feel like it was behind the backdrop, you know, like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
like
man behind the curtain.
It just it's very clear where the yellow brick road cuts off on the studio set, and it turns into a painted wall. It's like he was like kept walking, not paying attention, looking at his phone, walked into the wall, and it just like fell down, and like Sanctuary's just behind it.
There's this big orgy going on.
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the high heavens, Tyrael, he sees this, he says, what the fuck? He says, this is abomination, just like Inarius did when he first saw the Nephilim.
Oh, okay.
He's like, this is abomination, we have to kill all of this. So they send all the armies of heaven, go to Sanctuary. Tragul, the dragon guardian that I mentioned from earlier, decides, okay, I can hold up the shield for a little bit longer, but we got to do something about this. So
I got 7% battery left, guys, we got to rush.
Yeah, that's it. So Uldisian confronts Inarius. And both of them control basically the power of gods.
Cool.
Because Inarius is the god of this realm and he has the power of the World Stone at this point, and Odyssean has just unlocked the Nephilim powers, and he's a pretty cool dude. So the fight was the fiercest to ever take place on the face of Sanctuary. It lasted until the angel armies finally pierced Sanctuary above. Odyssean goes, what's the one after Super Saiyan?
Super Saiyan 2?
Is it just that?
I think so.
He goes Super.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah,
now.
that's it.
Yeah,
He goes Super Saiyan 2, as you will, and he acquires.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the next one, but it just like keeps going
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
now, yeah.
He quote acquires a higher understanding of Sanctuary itself and easily breaks the bond between Inarius and the World Stone. So he literally just like cuts off the source of power to Inarius, his enemy that he's fighting right now. He's just like, dude, I took your batteries out. What the fuck are you gonna do? And honestly, Inarius has got nothing. He's easily defeated, and he's imprisoned by the angels, the Angiris Council.
They didn't even kill him.
They imprisoned him for now. Tyrael, the Archangel of Justice, finds Odyssean in the wake of the battle and manages to shackle him because he's pretty tired from fighting Inarius. This is when the demons from the burning hells show up, because now that the angels have pierced the barrier, all the demons can get in too.
Yeah, the neighbors upstairs have been causing a ruckus. They're here to see what's up.
Yeah, so they literally start pulling themselves out of the earth or what have you. And they're determined to not let the angels destroy their weapon, the Nephilim, or the Edirim. Sorry, that was the name of Odyssean's followers, the Edirim. So they saw Nephilim as a powerful weapon, and then they see these like superhumans who are like unlocked all these magical abilities, and they're like, these are the superhumans that we want for our weapon. So a three-way battle begins between the Edirim, the angels, and the demons. Odyssean, now shackled, he's forced to just sit and watch for a time as his people fight for their very existence. Finally, overcome with emotion, he goes Super Saiyan 3, I guess.
If that's it.
That's it, I don't know.
It goes from like 1, 2, 3, and then it like skips to 7 or something.
Super Saiyan Neo or
And
something.
then there's another name after that.
DBZ lore, here we go.
Yeah, anyway.
Next episode.
Yeah.
He breaks.
I'm not doing that.
I was gonna say it's my turn to host next time, and I'm not doing that. I've never seen the show. I'm not gonna start researching some fucking anime right now.
Got up to Majin Buu, and I can't watch the stuff anymore. I've seen people watch it at work and stuff, and it's getting worse, man.
Yeah.
It's getting worse, but
they just rebooted it. Eh?
Yeah, but
there's
it's
new
like,
episodes coming out now.
Yeah, I know. I saw one of the new episodes, and I didn't hear the audio. I only saw the visuals.
Yeah.
And just from the visuals, it's changed so much.
Oh, yeah.
It's really not for me.
Anyway, he goes Super Saiyan 3, and he's so overcome with emotion, he breaks out of his bonds. He just yells, "Stop," and literally freezes time.
Cool.
So this guy's getting pretty strong at this point. He literally freezes time. Everybody stops. And he's like, well, might as well get some work done while things are like this. He literally just takes all the angels, brings them back to heaven, takes all the demons,
It's just
brings
one
them
guy.
back to
Oh,
heaven.
really?
Yeah, just one guy
he
making
does all
trips,
the
man.
trips.
He's just got like a hand truck.
Yeah, he's got a
it.
Traveler that he fucking fashioned. He's just fucking dragging them along.
This guy can stop time, but he's still got to walk down
Manually,
to hell like
yeah.
100 times.
Man, fucking, why did this have to be 7,000 steps?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, he does that, and now he's trying to put the landscape back together the way it was, because his fight with Inarius, obviously, like godlike powers going head to head on a plane of existence, is gonna fuck up that plane of existence.
Yeah.
I love the idea that there's just this dude walking around putting things back together and getting like really frustrated at certain points where there's like a painting that's stuck sideways,
yeah.
and even though time has stopped, every time he moves it, it's still crooked.
It's still
He's just like-
crooked.
This mountain is so wrong.
and just throws it out the window.
It's so great you went there because he realizes everything that he tries to fix, he's just making worse.
Oh,
fuck! For the
Oh.
landscape, every time he's trying to repair the world, he's just making it worse. Every mountain he puts up collapses into a valley, basically.
It's like if you have an old relationship and you try and get back
Try and
together.
rekindle it. Yeah, it just never works.
My relationship with the planet Earth just isn't what it used to be. I don't think her and I get along anymore.
Yeah. Peter, stand up and put your pants back on.
All right, fine. I'm sorry.
Jesus, leave him off.
Well, now I'm getting two different fucking
Yeah.
signal. I'm gonna put one pant leg on
Yeah.
the Ethan side of the room, and I'm gonna leave another one off on the James side.
I'm-
Of the room.
I'm agreeable.
compromise.
I'm agreeable to that,
Actually,
yeah.
you'd probably do pretty well with your old relationships.
What a compromise.
I just wear one pant leg a lot, and they're just like too confused to leave me because maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah. So he realizes that there's no way to reverse the destruction. The only thing he can do is to draw all the destruction into himself.
Okay.
Everything's too destroyed. So,
What a martyr.
well, he takes everything on. and he's got all the destruction inside of himself. When he does that, Trag'Oul guides him into the void, which is a good place to let all this destruction out, right?
Because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Nothing to break in the void.
So I have a quote from The Veiled Prophet, one of the Diablo 3 books, that I'm going to read for you guys.
Okay.
He felt the pressure building up again, this time for the final moment, and readied himself and his world for it. And when it came, it did so with an explosion of pure energy that ever so briefly shook Sanctuary to its foundation. Uldyssian roared, not because of pain, but rather the sheer ecstasy of his transformation. He was no longer a mere human, but something of which even the angels and demons could not conceive. He was Sanctuary for one moment, and all that surrounded it. His presence dwarfed that of the Trag'Oul, of any being near. His consciousness spread out above his treasured world, where he looked at it one last time.
And so ends the orgy, basically.
Yeah, he goes off presumably to join Anu.
That gave me chills, man.
And-
That's heavy.
And a human, I mean, angels are direct descendants of Anu. Demons are direct descendants of Anu. And it was a human, the first one to ascend to that final place that he went.
Yeah.
And a big reasoning why would be because humans
So
share...
they're balanced just like him. So
That's
they
it.
could
They share
like,
that.
Yeah.
They share that dual personality, that good and evil of him.
Oh.
How, like, imagine our limited lives, like, just being lifted away, taking on all this suffering, and, like, looking back at our minuscule lives, like, for a second, and being like, this is my last glimpse at it before I go somewhere way beyond it.
Yeah.
And then now imagine on a God spectrum, where it's, like, so much bigger, right?
Yeah.
Like, that is crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah, no,
Diablo, man.
Diablo.
So deep.
Yeah,
Diablo.
no, it's cool. It's really cool.
Okay, so after this, the developers decide, or the writers, I guess, decide to do this. Well, this has been all the books,
Yeah.
and this wouldn't make sense with the context of the game. So I assume this next part was to bridge the two, because the books are canon.
Yeah.
I guess because they were good stories and they were good background, good history, good lore, all that stuff. But they don't really leave at a point where the games would make sense following that. So after the battle, a gathering is held between the Angerus Council and Mephisto. And the Angerus Council is the Council of the Angels. That's
Okay.
the five
What
of them.
side's Mephisto on at this point?
Angel still, right?
Angel.
He's always been a demon. He's always been a primeval.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one you
Mephisto
mentioned-
is Diablo's brother.
Malfeasance or whatever.
Malthael, yeah.
That's it.
Malfeasance.
Malfeasance is an angel or some shit.
He's late on his rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Angerus Council and Mephisto is the representative for Hell.
Okay.
He's the Lord of Terror.
Okay.
The court will now hear Mephisto.
So
You have 3 minutes to make your statement.
yeah, so Sanctuary is all but destroyed, and it's literally, I guess they all just like wake up in heaven like, the fuck just happened? Did somebody just stop time? What the fuck? Like, where are we? I was just fighting. Like, yeah, so Sanctuary was all but destroyed, but some, like Rathma, the first necromancer, plead to the heavens, to the Angerus Council, to spare Sanctuary. It comes down to a vote.
I didn't have this fake mustache drawn on me when time stopped.
It's
It's like I didn't have all these dicks drawn on my chest.
On like Saturdays, you turn water into wine and fuck with the angels.
Yeah, it's like, oh, son of a bitch.
Why is it? He's like, why is my hand in a glass of water? Oh, I pissed myself. What the fuck? So it comes down to a vote. And Arius, obviously, he's a prisoner at this point, but he still gets a vote. I'm not really sure
Cool,
why.
why not?
But
Whatever.
Yeah. Prisoners get to vote. Why not?
Do prisoners get to vote in real life?
I don't know.
No,
I don't think so.
no, because like
I mean, maybe in some places in the world.
like
Maybe in Japan.
so like a municipal. Well, I don't know. Like it would just like it would be so fucking torn in the wrong way. They're like, we say shut down all the prisons, and then they get all the prisons vote, and like look in the states, like how many.
That's like
people
a
are
third
in
of the population.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
I don't think, I don't think
been to
anybody
prison.
in the States was running on the platform was shutting prison down.
No.
No,
No more
Never get the
prisons.
funding for it.
No.
Prison lobbying. It's a thing. Look it up. So prison in heaven. I
No
guess,
lobbyists.
No lobbyists. No
Lots
lobbying,
of bars.
No lobbying in heaven.
Yeah.
So I guess the prisoners do get to vote. So Nereus obviously votes against it, whereas Ariel, the leader of the council, the Angel of Hope, argues for it, strongly for the sparing sanctuary, because he has hope. Get it? The deciding vote comes down to Tyrael, who was the one to initially find Sanctuary and who initially called it an abomination.
Yeah.
But he decides he's seen enough in Uldyssian's sacrifice and says, you know what, guys? Let's give him a shot. And over the course of the series, once the games begin...
No, these guys are cool. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Once the games begin, he will become very pro-human,
Yeah.
as it were.
He's like one of the gods that interacts with the humans the most.
The most.
In the games.
In the games, he is
Like,
absolutely the one.
Yeah.
Who is, he is. You meet him in all three games.
Yeah,
I think he's
exactly.
the only angel that's in all three games.
In the cutscenes in Diablo 2, I remember him like all shackled
Yeah.
down and like the wings come out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
In Diablo 2, whenever
beautiful.
you're in Tal Rasha's tomb.
Yeah.
So
great
with
call.
Mephisto, the council makes a deal. Mephisto's part of the deal was, Sanctuary was going to be left to its own, no war brought there by heaven or hell. Humanity would get to decide their own fate. In return, Hell's bargain was, we're going to leave Sanctuary alone, but I get to take an Arius back to hell with me.
Okay.
Presumably because he fucked his daughter. That's my best bet.
Oh yeah.
We'll have a demon fuck him for eternity.
Yeah. So now the combined powers of Mephisto and the council was used to reset time on Sanctuary to the point where Odyssean first left his village. So events were unmade so that the inhabitants of Sanctuary could mature without the influence of the Triune or the Cathedral. So it was time was reset, placed at a point. The Triune was never created. The Cathedral was never created. Odyssean was just going on a path of enlightenment to show people, hey, we got magical powers.
They're like Hollywood directors. They're like, we need some retcons.
Yeah, well, without an angel or a demon whispering in his ear, rather.
Yeah.
How many books are there? This is super interesting, but it feels like a lot of content to cover in one book, right? Like,
there's at least a trilogy, but I think there's more than that.
okay,
I think there's 6 or 7 books. But,
oh, that's great.
Yeah. I don't think they're all canon either. But,
Okay.
And a lot of them would probably focus on minor stories, like rather specific stories, rather than
Like a historical thing.
This was all set up from the one trilogy by the one author. So after this reset is where obviously the games take place.
Oh, okay.
So now we have what's called...
Wait a second. So all the games exist after a war that technically didn't happen anymore?
All the angels remember it. All the demons remember it. Nobody on Earth remembers it.
Oh, they only reset Sanctuary.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
sorry. I totally
Do we
missed.
still
I
have the-
totally whiffed on that.
Yeah. Do we still have the bubble of protection for the humanity?
No, because
it was-
everybody knows where it is, and
Yeah.
I presume they were both like... Because they do realize, angels and demons both realize, like, humans are dangerous.
Yeah.
Um,
How would they hide something from themselves anyway without
Okay.
wiping their memories?
we know from the games one human can kill Diablo.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we've done it. So
Yeah.
So I presume they were like, let's leave it open, just so, like, you
Yeah.
know, if shit goes around bad down there, we can all
That's
show up.
it. An extraordinary human, granted, but
Yeah, that's it.
A protagonist of some description.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it. Yeah.
So the Dark Exile. This is an event which comes next. So, like I said before, there's 3 prime evils and 4 lesser evils. Whether or not this part is intended by Diablo and his brothers is unknown. So the 4 lesser evils, Asmodan, Andariel, Belial, and Duriel, plot against the great evil counterparts and decide to oust them from hell.
wow.
So there's a coup in hell, and they banish them from hell, and they exile them where? Sanctuary.
Okay.
They're like, oh, we're taking over hell, and we're sending you to Sanctuary. So
What could be worse than hell? Earth, no!
Yeah. So this is why I say it's unknown if it's intended by Diablo or not, because obviously this works seemingly to his favor later on because he wants to. They wanted to use these armies of Nephilim.
So all the demons that you fight in Diablo 1 are the ones that are ousted from hell, and that's why you run into them?
Diablo 1 takes place in one specific monastery,
Okay.
and it's literally where Diablo is residing.
Oh, is Diablo 1 like kind of like a dungeon crawler where you just keep going deeper and deeper from one town?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It all takes place in Tristram, and it all takes place in the Heraldric Monastery.
Gotcha.
Which is at the beginning of Diablo 3, you know, when you go fight the Skeleton King, and where Tyrael crashes, that's where Diablo was housed.
Oh, there's so many callbacks. They have the butcher.
In Diablo 3, they have a lot of callbacks.
Yeah.
It's much like Dark Souls 3, where it's like it was just placating the Dark Souls 1 fans.
Yeah.
Diablo 3 was just trying to placate the Diablo 1 fans.
Oh, okay.
Which, admittedly, there was much fewer Diablo 1 fans than Dark Souls 1 fans.
And Diablo 2 was the most popular of the 3, I'd imagine. Well,
Diablo 3 was by far
Well,
the
yeah.
We have very controversial opinions for people who actually like Dark Souls, but I'd agree I'd agree with Dark Souls 3 as being fan service, the movie, the game.
I mean, Dark Souls 3 is my favorite Dark Souls.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is the most popular platform for Diablo?
It's got to be PC.
It's PS3.
I think it's PS3 or PS4.
What?
It's
consoles have sell PC games.
it has a better community.
In a
It has a
blink.
bigger population on console rather than PC, and it's one of the few.
Well,
As a PC
I
game-
guess there's no other dungeon crawler of its kind on console.
Yeah,
and
Diablo-
on PC, our cup runneth over with fucking Diablo-like games.
And again, not to shit on Diablo 3 too much, it feels like a pretty casual game as a PC gamer.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like casual.
You're left clicking, right clicking most of the time with a casual 1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 3, 4 for
every
your
once in a
potions,
while. Like you don't need it that much.
Oh, okay.
They made a lot of like skills automatic in Diablo 3, and it's like like I had four of them at best in Diablo 2. You know what I mean?
I
It's
have to
like,
say I played
you
my
have to
monk
automate
and
it.
I had a blink set to 2, so I could get through dungeons really quick. I could jump over walls,
Yeah.
so I'd press 2 a lot because it had 2 charges and it would refill every 5 seconds or so. So
Yeah.
I was just blinking for speed, and then my 1 was also a blink, and then my right click was a blink to a monster. So I just felt so mobile. Like I could
Yeah.
just like blink all the fucking time.
That's
It was great. Yeah.
So the Haradrim. Tyrael soon learns that the 3 have been banished into Sanctuary. So the angels find out, and Tyrell's the one to find out again. And he sets out to stop their schemes. He's like, this looks real suspicious, guys. The 3 greater evils get ousted by the lesser evils and sent to Sanctuary, that place that we told you guys specifically not to go. But the greater evils are like, it's not our fault, dude. We got kicked out. We're not allowed back there. So Tyrell's like, what the fuck is this shit? So he creates what's known as the Haradrim.
I lost my keys in the car, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Whatever.
I locked myself out of my apartment. Where do you want me to sleep, dude? So
You sounded so much like Chris D'Elia there, the stand-up comedian, when you said,
Oh,
dude.
he's great. Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know
want
who
me
that
to
is.
sleep, dude. Like, anyways, you did it better.
Hey,
but-
dude, I'm walking here.
Yeah.
There
There you go.
you talking about?
Yeah.
So he creates what's known as the Haradrim, a collection of the most powerful human magi, including Jared Kane,
Oh.
ancestor of Deckard Cain, who is a major character throughout the games, and Tal Rasha, who
I know
is
Tal. I know that
a
name.
very, very famous mage from Diablo 2.
Yeah.
I know that name as well. I've heard that.
Well, we'll get to why. You
Go
might
to
know.
his where he did.
Yeah, so...
Ah,
Well,
spoilers.
he's not technically dead whenever you find him.
Well, come on, man.
Come on. it's
We're not even in the second game
spoilers.
yet.
Yeah, we're not even gonna get to the first
Spoilers
game.
for a 19-year-old game.
But,
Jesus.
yeah,
Exactly.
we'll get there. We'll get there. We're almost done. So Tyrael charges the Haradrim with the capture of the 3 prime evils. He gives them soul stones, like you mentioned earlier, James, to imprison their souls. So
Yeah.
they're
The
just,
Haradrim are also in Lord of the Rings.
it's possible.
They're the Easterlings who ride the Oliphants.
Are they called the Haradrim?
The Haradrim,
What's
yeah.
the difference between an elephant and an oliphant?
Elephants are
Uh,
bigger and have 4 tusks.
Oliphant is a fantasy monster.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with elephants. I don't know where you're drawing that
Well,
correlation.
they look very much like elephants.
You have no-
And their names sound very much
you
like
don't know
elephants.
where that's coming from at all.
Listen,
Yeah.
okay.
Peter, you know we don't get sarcasm.
Lord of the Rings is a completely original work. Okay, it's
It is.
It's perfect.
It is like the original work, I will say. As someone who is shitting on games for being unoriginal, like Lord of the Rings is the one that he invented it all.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I
pretty
invented
much.
elves, he invented dwarves, he invented...
I'm reading Guy Gabriel K right now, and he, in his prologue,
It's-
it's like, this is Tolkien, but I just tried to write this
Yeah.
universe pretty much, because
It's
that's it.
It's
Yeah.
Guy Gabriel. Okay.
No, it's Guy.
Are you sure?
I was in Quebec last week, so.
What do we call him?
It's
oh,
Guy,
it's
it's Guy Gabriel.
Guy.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's Guy Gabriel.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's Guy.
Okay.
No.
So the Haradrim set out to imprison all the souls of the 3 major evils, and
Yeah.
as we established, humans are pretty fucking cool, pretty fucking badass.
We're pretty
And-
good.
and they do it one by one. They succeed. They find each of the 3 demons and they imprison them. So here's how the 3 captures go. Here's our cops episode. Bale was the first to be captured.
Here's our cops episode. What?
Because they're like bad boys, bad
Oh,
boys.
okay,
Now we're
okay.
watching like the cops get the bad boys. You know?
Okay, yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
that ricocheted off my brain for a second, and then when it came back, I registered. Where am I?
All my
Bale's,
jokes
like,
are boomerangs.
stuffing the drugs into his throat.
Yeah, it's, Take them.
It's like a big bag of coke.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so sick, guys.
Maybe that's a good thumbnail. Who knows?
Or like a demon just like
A demon like trying to shovel drugs into his mouth while
hand
being
over
arrested
fist
by the
eating
Haradrim.
pills. Yeah. Oh my god.
Uh,
We got a lot. I got a lot of things to
you
think
got
about.
you got some things
when
to
I
think
when
about.
I drink a bottle of wine tonight in a
Yeah.
cabin.
So Bale was the first to be captured. A massive tomb was built around him to keep Bale in and his brothers out. Bale, being Lord of Destruction, was able to damage the Soul Stone while he was being captured. So all they have is a shard of that Soul Stone that Tyrael gave them. Tal Rasha, knowing that this shard wouldn't be enough to contain the soul of Bale, chooses his own body as a prison for the Prime. So
Okay.
he takes the Soul Stone, captures the soul, and then sticks it into his chest
Cool.
to like add his power to the binding powers. He basically uses his body as a soul stone. And they chain,
And that's just a thing that works apparently.
yeah, so they just chain him against a pillar in the middle of this tomb in the middle of the desert with 6 other tombs that are there as red herrings. This is from Diablo 2 the game.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured it sounded like a very video game level setup
Yeah, that's
to a
it.
prison. Yeah.
Well, you can go to Tal Rasha's tomb earlier. You have to do an earlier quest to know which one to go to.
Okay.
Otherwise, you got to do like all 7 and hope you get the right one, basically. Because it's like we said, procedurally generated. It's a different tomb each time you play
Yeah.
the game.
Okay, so it's one of 7 every time.
Yeah, and it's every time it's a random one. Mephisto was the second to be captured. He was captured actually at the same time as Bale, but they didn't want to put them both in the same spot.
Yeah.
So they took him way out east to the middle of the jungle, and they charged an organization known as the Zakarum Monks with keeping his protection. Ultimately, however, the Soulstone corrupts the monks, and Mephisto takes a host among them. So he actually reaches out into the world through these monks that were charged
Okay, so he's a
with
secret.
protecting him.
He's a secret monk now.
Yeah, the Zakarum are enemies in the game, basically, because he corrupts them all.
Cool.
Diablo flees to the west and continues to evade capture for several decades after both his brothers get captured. So, like, decades. Literally, this guy's on the lam for a long-ass time. He was the trickiest demon to catch, obviously.
Grab some BBQ wings, baby.
He was eventually captured near today's Westmarch, a country in the west, and Haradrim built a cathedral above his tomb to stand guard. As time passes, however, the Haradrim falls apart because they're like, oh, remember 3,000 years ago when we imprisoned those demons, we're still important. And everyone's like, okay, old man, whatever you say. As far as the games go...
We were the greatest generation.
Yeah, that's it. As far as the games go, 1 and 2, Deckard Cain is the only Haradrim. And in the third one, it's his niece, I think, who becomes a Haradrim eventually.
That's girl in the cutscenes?
That's girl in cutscenes.
Okay.
IRC, if I recall correctly.
I thought it was his daughter, but I could be wrong.
It could be his daughter.
He's an old dude. I hope it's not his daughter.
He is an old dude. But
Unless he had himself a fucking
she's a
fire trophy wife.
Yeah. She's real mad about it, though. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. So as time passes, memories fade. Towns begin to pop up around the cathedral. One of these towns was, of course, Tristram.
Oh, yeah, Tristram.
Which is where the first game takes place. It's a major location. It's the first and third game. Third game, Act 1 takes place there. First game is where it takes place. The second game, you visit there to rescue Deckard Cain.
Yeah, the second game you go to Tristram, don't you? And then, like, have a base camp there for a bit?
The second game, no.
Old Tristram is where the skeleton guy is, right?
That's Diablo 3.
Okay.
And the Skeleton King is literally in the Haradrim Cathedral where Diablo was stored. Like, where Tyrael lands in Diablo 3, that's where Diablo was
Mission 4...
stored.
Yeah, Mission 4 or 5 in Act 1 of Diablo 2. You go to Tristram, but you go through a portal. You have to set it up with, like, these 4 spires, and you go there. You get...
It's Rakinishu, actually, is the guy guarding... The person guarding the portal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's Rakinishu, yeah.
And you get someone's leg, Hort's leg?
Wirt's
leg.
WIRT.
Yeah.
Who was the blacksmith assistant, I think, in the first one?
Yeah. And you kill
Wirt.
someone there, and you free Deckard Cain, bring him back to... I forget the name of the town.
Is it New Tristram?
It's just the rogue settlement.
New Tristram is Diablo 3.
It's just a
Okay.
rogue settlement because they've
Rogue
all been
settlement.
ousted from their homes and they set up a fort in the middle of the...
Yeah, so you bring it
because
back
there's demons
to-
all over the place.
Yeah.
You bring it back to Rogue settlement.
Yeah, so it's in Tristram. There's a returning hero who declares himself king of the land surrounding Tristram, declares Tristram the land's capital. He sets up his offices basically in the cathedral that houses Diablo without knowing it. His most trusted advisor decides to check out the cathedral, goes all the way to the bottom, and finds Diablo. And Diablo speaks to him, corrupts him, and Diablo tries to possess the king, is unable to, but the king's advisor, Lazarus, brings the king's son down to meet Diablo because he's corrupted, and Diablo possesses his son. So his son is possessed. Leoric is like just deranged from.
Leoric turns into the Skeleton King, right?
He does, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's
So-
all coming back to me now.
Yeah, you gotta collect pieces of his sword and stuff.
Yeah.
Leoric, his son was possessed. He goes mad looking for his son, and he's just accusing all his denizens of being the ones who took him or whatever. He eventually receives into the cathedral, become a boss, the Skeleton King, in Diablo 3. And this is where Diablo 1 begins, and this is where the first Diablo episode of Lore Boys will end.
Very good.
Wow, yeah. Learned a lot. Like, didn't know any of that, pretty much.
I didn't know any of that at all,
Yeah.
obviously, either. Because
Yeah, I mean, I played all 3, and I knew some of it, but there was a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Because this is all precursor stuff, too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think the next episode, you and I, James, will probably know a bit more. And actually, probably.
I mean, I'll probably
too.
know a hell of a lot more as well.
That's
just
it, yeah.
with what I've absorbed,
Because there's
being
more
part of
context to it.
gamer culture, and
Yeah.
also just
This-
like having a little bit of experience with the games themselves.
That's it.
Yeah.
This is literally just set up for
We're just setting up our next. We're just setting up our next episode, guys.
Yeah.
And
No payoff here.
And this was just Blizzard setting up or retconning their games, basically.
Yeah, cool. Cool.
Beat Diablo 2 and 3 within the last year. I honestly didn't have a lot of experience with 1, but I'd like to play 1 now after.
Yeah,
Just-
I heard you saying. I did hear that it's all in one building, right? It's like multiple basements of a cathedral.
It's in the cathedral.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
where Diablo 1 takes place.
You're like in this main town. It's like a lot of like
You're in
modern day
Tristram.
dungeon crawler games
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
just kind of keep going deeper and deeper.
You got your hub world, and you just keep coming back.
Yeah.
So, Peter,
Yeah,
as far as lore boys go, you having fun? You having a good time?
I'm having a good time.
Where if somebody wanted to tweet at you some Diablo themed porn and or Sonic porn, we're not taking that off the table
Or
yet.
both.
Or both.
In the same
let's do it.
photo.
Sonic
I thought
fucking
Peter was
Diablo.
I thought Peter was gonna back off, and he was like doubling down. Yeah, give me both. Give it to me. Yeah.
Where might they tweet at you?
You can tweet at me at Pete O'Donohue on Twitter and Old Aunt Peter on Instagram. I believe I'm hosting the next episode, which I've come to a decision will be for...
No, I'm going to host the next episode. It's going to be the follow-up to Diablo. Don't worry, folks.
Are we doubling up?
Yeah, the resolution's going to be next week.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I got the Diablo, and then you'll do the week after.
Well, after that, I'm going to do Dishonored in that case.
Dope.
That's what I wanted to announce. Is just stay tuned after Diablo's finished as Dishonored.
Dope.
Too bad. I guess it's because I was running late in traffic today. We didn't discuss the schedule. It's my mistake,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I just came in fucking guns, fucking cocks ready to go.
Yeah, no worry, dude. Because I thought I was next week because you guys have both done one since my last one. But
When the hell did you?
I did StarCraft a while back.
Yeah,
but
no,
this is
No,
big deal.
it was you, then him, now it's me. We're still
Yeah,
in
which
order.
means it should be me. But Peter thought it was him, and you thought it was you.
No, it goes
We're all
him,
big
goes
dummies.
me, him. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Anyway,
This can be
Yeah,
discussed
let's just
off air.
keep bringing content to our
Twitter.
wonderful-
if you want to be our secretary and you want to tweet at James,
If
where
you
would
want
you
to work
do
this
that?
shit out for
yeah,
us, please.
We're too stupid.
I can't figure that shit out.
I can't count to 3.
So you can reach me on Facebook, James the Miller. Add me up, Facebook / whatever, James the Miller, and on Twitter at JAYMILLK. That's J Milk with 2 L's. And Ethan, where can we find you?
I'm at Ethan the Deadman on Instagram and Twitter. Hit me up. Make sure to hit up the Lore Boys WordPress, loreboys.wordpress.com. We're on iTunes. We have a review.
We got a couple of new reviews to read to y'all.
Yeah.
new reviews.
We heard the beginning of one. I'm hoping it's not serious.
It was very good. The Communist Party of Nunavut by the Frontiersman says, I find your abhorrent disrespect for the moral, sexual, religious, and political opinion of others incredibly amusing, and I wish to make love to each of you in the near future.
Wow.
All right.
Which is great. Thank you so much for that.
I like
review.
that person. I wish I knew who that was.
I'd push ahead with the Frontiersman if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'm always
many-
panning for gold, if you know what
That's
I mean.
it.
How many stars?
5 stars.
5 stars. Communist
Whoa.
Party
I-
of Nunavut.
We
I've
only
got at
read
least
5-star
4
reviews.
times as many toes for you.
Yeah. At least 20. By another review from Shinigami. Says, amazing work so far, guys. Love the podcast. They're kind of long, but still. I like also the first few minutes of it when you talk about pretty much everything. I don't share the same opinion you have on E3. That's fair. Keep up the good work. I think you can do a podcast about the new upcoming games. It might be interesting. Keep up the good work. Ahmed.
Yeah, that's Ahmed that we talked about
Oh
earlier.
yeah, you mentioned that earlier. I like how that's like a real review and not a joke.
Yeah.
And how many stars? 5?
5 stars.
Damn.
baby.
He's a good guy. He's not so interested in the lore. He's more interested in our personality. So he'll
Yeah,
listen
yeah,
the
yeah.
first
Oh, what
half
an
hour
idiot.
when we rant, and then as soon as we get into the lore, he turns it off.
Yeah, fuck games.
Yeah.
Games are fucking stupid. I don't want to listen to that. I just want to know what these dudes
That's
do.
great and all. Thanks for the review, but please listen to the whole thing. That's how we get our likes.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Ahmed. If you guys want your review read on air,
Leave it.
It could be any message. Just leave it on iTunes.
Yeah.
Guys,
Any message, any stars but 5 if you want, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
prefer 5 stars.
Yeah.
We got a perfect record, so come fuck it up for us if you want.
Guys, I have so many dead lizards. It's one of the drawbacks of hosting a Lizard Highlander tournament is I have so many dead lizards.
It's unreal, actually.
So for all our Lore Boys premium
I can still
subscribers,
smell it on his clothes.
So for all our Lore Boys premium subscribers, I've been making belts. I've been making shoes. I've been making watch bands.
Oh, hang on.
Everything lizard leather you can imagine, I have got.
He's not
Hey,
very
no,
good at it.
no,
though.
I'm not
He's
very
just-
good at it.
He's
Okay.
just taking lizard corpses and pressing it into the shapes. Of
Yeah,
Oh, just
pretty much.
pounding
yeah.
it flat with a hammer.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. And I got a real thing to go off of here. Okay.
Hit.
So, speaking of lizard leather,
Speaking of lizard leather,
Okay.
yes, I'm following you so far.
when I was helping my mom in the basement because it's obviously I need to get my TV and
Yeah,
children are for slave labor. We already established that in the podcast.
Yeah.
I was going through this box that is like a legit pair of Vegas cowboy boots that my grandfather's had for like
Nice.
25 years, made with real leather and genuine lizard skin.
Nice.
And there's like there's a sticker on the bottom with a little picture of a lizard, and it says genuine lizard leather. And so I actually have a pair of cowboy boots at home now, made with real lizard skin.
I wouldn't have guessed that lizard leather would be something you want to advertise.
I think it was okay in the 80s before
Yeah.
people realized it was brutal, but you know.
No, I mean leather's always brutal. It's
I've
the
got
skin
them
of another
now.
animal. I would think cow leather would be more dependable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a glamour thing, you know.
Yeah.
You wanna snort your drugs and show off your lizard skin. That's what the 80s was.
I
all
suppose.
about.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
I intend to take an Instagram photo at some point wearing nothing but those boots.
there we go.
With just like a tasteful thigh
Tasteful,
to censor
yeah.
my genitals.
All right.
Tasteful, yeah. We're always tasteful here.
Yeah.
And on that thread, lore boys, out.
Out.